welcome to Spring Hill Activity Center here on Friday night as some seniors are being honored prior to the big game here between Spring Hill and Fort Scott. We're just going to turn it over to our PA announcers and get those seniors honored here on a beautiful Friday night.
And Chad Allenbrand, Ina Mysuk, Anna Shea. Anna is the daughter of Karen and Adam Shea. She is a 3-year member of the Bronco golf team. Anna is an honor roll student, has been a member of the track team, is involved with SAC, FCA, and is a member of the National Honor Society. She is currently attending Johnson County Community College and is working on her associate's degree in accounting. Afterwards, Anna plans to transfer to a 4-year university to earn her bachelor's degree in finance. Anna Shea. Congratulations to these senior members of Bronco Golf. Next, we will introduce our Bronco cross-country seniors. First up is Braden George. Braden is a 4-year member of cross-country. He is an honor roll student and has been involved in Scholars Roll, Bronco Band, Baseball, Stuco, PALS, is a Links leader, and is a member of the National Honor Society. Braden is undecided on a college of choice, but plans to pursue a degree in engineering after graduation. He is the son of Katie and Matthew George, who are with him tonight. Braden George. Lily Haney. Lily is a 4-year member of cross country. She is active in color guard, where she is currently serving as captain. Lily has been involved in Links, PALS, is serving as the Stuco secretary, is a member of the National Honor Society, is an honor roll student, and is a member of student publications, and is the online editor for the Stampede News. Lily plans to attend Kansas University after graduation, where she plans to join the Air Force ROTC program and study law. She aspires to be a JAG lawyer. Lily is the daughter of Heather and James Haney. Lily Haney. Peyton Hines. Peyton is a 2-year member of Bronco Cross Country, is an honor roll student, is a member of the track team, and is a Links leader. After graduation, she plans to attend Pittsburgh State University to study mechanical engineering technology. Peyton is being accompanied tonight by her parents, Heather and James Hines. Peyton Hines. Haley Hodge. Haley is the daughter of Becky and David Hodge. She is a 4-year member of Bronco Cross Country, is a member of the track team, is an honor roll student, has participated in SAD, FFA, FCA, and is a member of the National Honor Society. Haley plans to attend Kansas State University to earn a degree in veterinary technology. Haley Hodge. Unable to attend tonight is Gavin Hurley. Gavin is a 2-year member of Bronco Cross Country. She is an honor roll student and a member of the track team. Although undecided on a college of choice after graduation, Gavin would like to continue her track career at the collegiate level while pursuing a degree in dental hygiene. She is the daughter of Deb and Doug Hurley. Gavin Hurley. Peyton Schulte. Peyton is the son of Nicole and Justin Schulte. He is a 3-year member of Bronco Cross Country. Peyton is an honor roll student, a member of the Bronco Marching Band, a member of the track team, is involved in Stuco, PALS, Links, and is a member of the National Honor Society. After graduation, Peyton plans to attend the University of Oklahoma to study meteorology and atmospheric sciences. He also plans to continue his band career at the collegiate level and participate in the Pride of Oklahoma Marching Band. Peyton Schulte. Not attending tonight is Mike Schick. Mike is a 4-year member of Bronco Cross Country. He has been on the honor roll and has been involved in orchestra. He plans to join the track team next spring and is a member of the FFA. After graduation, Mike will be a member of the United States Air Force. He is the son of Carol and Mike Arnold and Alan Schick. Mike Schick. Congratulations to all of our cross-country seniors. Next up, we have our Bronco tennis seniors. Alexis Beckman. Alexis is a two member of Bronco tennis. She is an honor roll student, is a member of the track and powerlifting teams, is a links leader, participates in PALS, FCA, Stuco, the volunteer club, and is a member of the National Honor Society. After graduation, Alexis plans to attend Kansas State University, where she will study exercise science. Alexis is the daughter of Lindsay and Andy Beckman. Alexis Beckman. We have several members of our tennis team unable to attend tonight, but we want to give them a shout out. Not here tonight is Olats Fernandez Uriarte. Olats is a first-year member of Bronco Tennis, joining the team as an exchange student from Spain. Olats has enjoyed all of the activities so far that she has experienced here in the States. Upon her return to Spain, she will continue her studies as a high school junior. Olats is actually on a fall break tonight, away with her host family, Brianna and Brian Dick. Olats Fernandez Uriarte. Brinley Gardner is also unable to attend. She is the daughter of Taryn and Adam Gardner. She is a four-year member of Bronco Tennis, a member of the orchestra, is an honor roll student, and a links leader. After graduation, Brinley plans to attend Pittsburgh State University, where she will major in history and political science with a minor in education. Brinley Gardner. With us tonight, Aspen Gersberger. Aspen is the daughter of Stacy and Jay Gersberger. She is a four-year member of Bronco Tennis and has been on the honor roll. After graduation, Aspen plans to attend Colorado State University, where she will be studying psychology. Aspen Gersberger. And at state tennis today is Logan Kilby. Logan is the daughter of Brenda Kilby and Tyson Kilby. She is a two-year member of Bronco Tennis and is a 2022 state qualifier. Logan is also a member of the track team, is an honor roll student, has participated in Stuco, the Environmental Club, Hype Squad, is a links leader, and is a member of the National Honor Society. Logan plans to attend Kansas University to pursue a degree in human resources. Logan Kilby. Ari Martin is also unable to be with us tonight. She is a four-year member of Bronco Tennis and was a 2021 state qualifier. She is an honor roll student, has been involved with Stuco, the Environmental Club, is a links leader, and a member of the National Honor Society. After graduation, Ari plans to attend the University of Washington, where she will major in microbiology on a pre-med track. She is the daughter of Tracy and Billy Martin. Ari Martin. Sorry about that. Marin Ruffin. Marin is a four-year member of Bronco Tennis. She is also a member of the marching and jazz bands, is the current Stuco vice president, is part of FCA, and is a member of the National Honor Society. After graduation, Marin plans to attend Kansas University. She will major in history with a minor in political science before heading to law school on her way to becoming a criminal justice attorney. Marin is the daughter of Alyssa and Jason Ruffin. Marin Ruffin. Taya Stratton. Taya is the daughter of Jill Haverkamp. She is a two-year member of the Bronco Tennis team, is also a member of the track team, and is a part of Hype Squad. After graduation, Taya plans to attend Kansas State University to major in interior design. Taya Stratton. Congratulations to these senior members of the Spring Hill High School Bronco Tennis team. Thank you, everyone, for attending tonight, and good luck, Broncos.
Well, Bronco fans, thank you for tuning in early, getting the seniors honored here on a gorgeous night here at Spring Hill Activity Center. Coming up, all your pregame coverage, Bronco football, live on Friday night here on Spring Hill Sports Live.
The following is a presentation of Spring Hill Sports Live. It's time for Spring Hill High School Athletics. On your home for the Broncos, Spring Hill Sports Live. Spring Hill Sports Live is presented by Strode Orthodontics, creating beautiful, healthy smiles. Learn more at StrodeOrtho.com. Also by It's time for the Broncos, right here on your home for Spring Hill High School Athletics, Spring Hill Sports Live.
It's Broncos football here on Friday night as Spring Hill takes on the Tigers from Fort Scott High School. Welcome to a beautiful Spring Hill, Kansas on a gorgeous Friday night, 69 degrees. Alex Smith, I'm here with BJ Harris. And BJ, this is a great chance tonight for the Spring Hill Broncos. They can guarantee at least a 500 season, at least a 500 regular season with a win tonight before a really tough road matchup next week at Lewisburg.
Yeah, this is a great opportunity for Spring Hill to kind of take advantage of the fact that they've kind of identified themselves. They found an identity in the running game. They've overcome some adversity that they self-inflicted, albeit early in the season with some mistakes. They've eliminated those. They've eliminated the big game, or the big play, rather, and this would be the time to play that complete game going into what will be next week the biggest game of the season. Not only is it the last one before playoffs, but it's against Lewisburg, who has emerged as the leader in the Frontier League now.
Yeah, that's right, and you take into account as well the struggling Fort Scott Tigers coming in here at 1-5. They're near the bottom statewide, actually, in all of Kansas in the 4A category. Today's broadcast of Bronco football is sponsored by Strode Orthodontics, specializing in creating beautiful, healthy smiles. Dr. Claire Strode and the staff at Strode Orthodontics is experienced, highly trained, and fully licensed orthodontic specialist with decades of combined experience in the orthodontic field with locations in Spring Hill, Olathe, and Overland Park. Learn more at StrodeOrtho.com. Still to come on our Comfort Designs Heating and Air Conditioning pregame show, we've got area matchup, we've got keys to the game, and we've got your starting lineups, and it's all happening right here on Spring Hill Sports Live.
Are you looking for a trusted heating and air conditioning contractor? Look no further than Comfort Designs, Spring Hill's heating and air conditioning company. Comfort Designs Heating and Air has 100% NATE certified technicians who are friendly, knowledgeable, and ready to help. They'll care for your home and complete the job with speed and precision. Locally owned and operated right here in Spring Hill for more than 20 years. Comfort Designs Heating and Air Conditioning. See all they have to offer at comfortdesigns.net. Or schedule your appointment at 913-592-4453. The industry's most advanced equipment and training, state-of-the-art diagnostic tools, and the small-town friendly service you expect. That's J&T Auto Service in Spring Hill. Eliminate the veil of uncertainty with J&T Auto's digital diagnostic process. This unique service ensures transparency, clear communication, and documentation, allowing for a quick and complete repair. To learn more or to schedule an appointment, call 913-592-6424. You can also visit jtautoinc.com.
Strode Orthodontics is creating beautiful, healthy smiles. Dr. Claire Strode and her staff have decades of combined experience, offering clear and metal Damon smile braces and Invisalign clear aligners for teens and adults. Dr. Strode tailors your treatment to meet your specific needs with 3 convenient locations in Olathe, Overland Park, and Spring Hill. Strode Orthodontics is ready to give you the beautiful smile you've always wanted. Call for your free no-obligation consultation, 913-491-3400, or visit StrodeOrtho.com.
Michael Grant at Farm Bureau Financial Services is a proud supporter of Spring Hill and cheering on the Broncos. At Farm Bureau Financial Services, their #1 goal is to protect you and your family. Insurance is complicated and not one size fits all. Michael and his team take pride in the relationship they build with their client members. Let them work with you to customize a plan that protects your livelihood and your future. To learn more, call Michael Grant at Farm Bureau Financial Services 913-592-2336 or visit them at 117 South Main in Spring Hill.
A great collision on the field? Awesome. An awesome collision on the road? Not so great. If that bad play does come your way, take your car to Shoemaker Collision and Paint Center. As Kansas City's premier auto collision repair center, they work on all makes and models, even RV, marine, aviation, motorcycles, and more. Shoemaker Collision offers free estimates and loaners, plus they will work with all insurance companies. Get your ride back in the game. Learn more at shoemakercollision.com or call 913-592-0095.
Supreme Mechanical Solutions is a heating, AC, and refrigeration company with over 25 years of experience. They install and maintain equipment for residential and commercial customers throughout Kansas City with 100% satisfaction guaranteed. And they're available 24/7 for emergency repairs. Financing is available for system replacements. For supreme quality, think Supreme Mechanical Solutions. Learn more at smsofkc.com or call 913-433-4567.
Welcome back to the Comfort Designs Heating and Air Conditioning pregame show here on Spring Hill Sports Live, where you see the band getting into formation on a cue. We're ready to drop out of this if we need to bring you that. First, we're going to look at the area matchups. The area matchups are brought to you by Elliott Insurance Group. At Elliott Group, they believe strong relationships with their clients and their community is the best way to serve them both, with offices throughout the area and online at ElliottInsuranceGroup.com. BJ Harris is with me, and he knows a whole lot about Frontier League football, that's for sure. BJ, what do we got going on?
Yeah, Frontier League is a little lopsided right now. The top end's pretty well got control of the bottom end on this thing, and so you're not a lot of blockbuster matchups anyways this week. Lewisburg's at Ottawa. You like Lewisburg's chances in that one probably going away. You can catch that over on Lewisburg Sports Live. Maybe the best matchup, Tongi at Eudora. We saw Eudora drop one against Lewisburg when we didn't think they would. They've righted the ship since then. They've got talent all over the field. Division I guys. And Tonganoxie's they've got upset mind, I believe, on their mind in that one. Paola's at Bonner Springs, Baldwin's at Bishop Ward. And then the big matchup around the area, Mill Valley at Olathe North in 6A and 5A. That's the number 1 5A team. You guys, the number 4 6A team should be a good one.
And we're going to back out of this, catch the national anthem here on the field.
Best band in the land there, Alex. That band this week alone won the Baker Band Competition. They've won the Emporia Band Competition. This is the best band in maybe the state of Kansas.
And you love to see it right here on Spring Hill Sports Live. The pregame show is brought to you by Comfort Designs Heating and Air Conditioning. Locally owned and operated for more than 20 years, Comfort Designs is Spring Hill's heating and air conditioning company. Learn more at comfortdesigns.net or call 913-592-4453. Still to come, our keys to the game brought to you by Amy Kelly Reese Nichols Real Estate and our Perfect Detail Salon starting lineups. You're catching it all right here on Spring Hill Sports Live.
Option Bank community banking at its best. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
For more than 20 years, Gherkin Rental has been the place to go to get the job done in eastern Kansas and western Missouri. With a huge selection of quality equipment, from roll-offs to trailers, telehandlers to generators, power washers to popcorn makers. Experienced equipment professionals and clean, well-maintained tools to help you get the job done right the first time. Gherkin Rental. Stop by any of their 13 locations across the KC Metro or call 855-GHERKINS. That's 855-437-5367.
Ladies, do you know what you want to drink?
Ooh, yeah, I'll have the unlimited coffee.
Me too. You got some coffee?
You know, back in my day, unlimited meant there were no limits. But you need a limit. Tired of paying for unlimited offers that leave you feeling limited? Experience Limitless with Go Brawley.
Your locally owned hometown Allstate agent is Libby Clark, now at her new location in downtown Spring Hill. Libby and her staff are passionate about the people they serve, helping them protect what matters most. With 24-hour customer service and options for online and in-person appointments, the Libby Clark Agency is the small-town agent you've grown to love, with the experience and products you'd expect from an industry-recognized premier agency. Visit them at their new location in downtown Spring Hill, just one block off Main on Hale, or call 913-686-6205.
Elliott Group is a proud supporter of Spring Hill and USD 230. At Elliott Group, we work, live, and shop in your local communities. Serving Miami and Johnson counties for more than 45 years, Elliott Group understands your needs. As an independent insurance agency, Elliott Group works with numerous carriers to find the coverage that best fits your needs. In Spring Hill, call 913-592-5552 or visit ElliottInsuranceGroup.com.
Welcome back to the Comfort Designs Heating and Air Conditioning pregame show here on Spring Hill Sports Live. 3-3 Spring Hill Broncos about to take on the 1-5 Fort Scott Tigers. And BJ, we said it, a huge chance, and it's got to be a win going up against Lewisburg next week and against a team that is reeling and has potentially a quarterback maybe returning from concussion protocol that missed the last game, got crushed against Chanute last week.
Yeah, Coach Bo Graham with the Fort Scott Tigers struggling just a little bit right now. Their numbers are not quite where you'd want them to have. Fort Scott, obviously a storied program in southeast Kansas. They've won state titles in 4A back in the late 90s and early 2000s. And under a long time head football coach, you got one guy who's in charge of the program for a long time. Actually, they went away from Bob Campbell. Bob Campbell came back to run that program for you, got him kind of going again, and then handed it over to one of his former players in Coach Black, and now, or Coach Graham rather, and now here they are coming back into this game and struggling a little bit. And so, how do you get a program kind of turned back around? that's the task at hand. That's going to be Coach Graham's problem, and right now just things aren't quite going the way they want them to. All that said, you still got to go out and play a football game, and the other team still wants to win. Whether they think they can or whether you think they can is irregardless. Once the game starts, then it's up to the execution part of it. And really, that's been the problem for the Broncos when they haven't played well, is just execution. They've got the guys in the right places. They just haven't been able to execute when things haven't gone well. Luckily, over the last couple of weeks, things have gone very well. And really, tonight, I think it's a matter of the running game and getting the Broncos off to a good start, so that doesn't allow Fort Scott to kind of think they can, and then all of a sudden a team that's 1-5 can, once they start to think they can a little bit.
That's right. The keys to the game are brought to you by Amy Kelly Homes of Reese Nichols Real Estate. The key to finding your dream home is having someone who makes you already feel at home. Key in at amykelly.reesenichols.com. BJ, talk about the running attack for Spring Hill, the offensive line, the push we're going to get tonight is going to be really key, but there is a key injury. Left tackle Carter Meek, he is going to miss this game. With an absence, it's going to be left guard Corey Couch sliding over, and Alexander, the sophomore, into that starting lineup at left guard. So we're going to be keeping an eye on that, on the line battle, as we've heard from our scout, our friends over at Fort Scott Radio, that this is a big line. This is a team that, at least, even with a poor record, they're big up front.
I tell you what, yeah, one of the keys for me is that running game, and you mentioned the O-line, and this is their stat as much as it is Colton McKenna's stat. That's coming from a guy who is an old O-lineman. But Colton McKenna in the last 2 ball games, versus Ottawa, 30 carries, 204 yards, and 4 touchdowns. And against Paola last week, 25 carries, 258 yards, and 4 touchdowns for Colt McKenna. If you're keeping track on mathematically, that's 55 carries in 2 games, 462 yards, 8 touchdowns, 8.4 yards per carry, and you add in his kickoff return yardage, 522 all-purpose yards in 2 games. Colt McKenna is on fire, and if he has another game even remotely close to that, this will be a Bronco win.
Right, and we expect McKenna to really carry a heavy load. Unknown health status of Pipkin heading into this one following that injury from the game.
He will be out, actually. I did get that, so he will be out of this game.
McKenna is going to be carrying heavy load, number 5 in purple for the home team tonight. Spring Hill 3-3. Again, they're trying to guarantee at least a 500 record here in the regular season. Still to come, your Perfect Details Salon starting lineup and kickoff coming up next. You are watching Spring Hill Sports Live.
What is typically a daunting, frustrating, and intimidating experience was enjoyable and exciting because of Amy. She listened to what we envisioned for our future home and was able to show us houses that reflected this. She was with us every step of the way, taking the time to answer our phone calls and texts. We ended up with our dream home, all thanks to Amy.
Feel at home while you find your next home with Amy Kelly of Reese Nichols Real Estate. Amy goes above and beyond for her clients and even makes a contribution to Ronald McDonald House with every closing. Contact Amy Kelly to buy or sell your home.
Massage is more than relaxation. Apex Massage Therapy can go beyond with targeted work for headaches and sinuses, myofascial releases, trigger point therapy, neuromuscular therapy, reflexology, cupping, and hot stones. Kylie's hands go right to the problem areas and work out all the issues. She is certified in prenatal massages, oncology, lymphatic drainage, pre- and post-surgery massages, and she can also work on minors and athletes. For openings and specials, like and follow Apex MT on Facebook.
Up your lawn care game at Hers Inc. in Spring Hill. We have one of the area's largest and most diverse selections of lawnmowers, including top brands like Altos, Bobcat, Gravely, Dixie Chopper, and Red Max. Quality built machines for any size job. And when you get your mower at Hers, we offer full service and repairs covered by your warranty. From the backyard to the back 40, the all-star lineup of mowers at Hers will make you the captain of the lawn. See the full lineup at hersinc.net. Call 913-247-3530 or just stop on by.
At Olathe Health, we perform cutting-edge surgical procedures because changing lives with innovative care drives us, one patient at a time. Olathe Health. Advanced healthcare. Advancing lives.
If you're off your game because of pain or injury, turn to Olathe Health because orthopedics is our game. Joint repair and replacement, chronic conditions and injuries, hand surgery, sports medicine. Make an appointment today.
Whether you're trying to make the most of the next harvest, navigating a changing business landscape, or planning for the next chapter in your life, the professionals at Prime Accounting Solutions are here to help. With 10 locations, Prime Accounting offers convenient, friendly accounting and tax services at a fair price. Payroll, bookkeeping, business planning, personal tax filing, and more. And now Prime is the place to go for insurance. Bronco fans can find us at 408 North Webster in Spring Hill or call 913-592-2050. To find a location near you, go to primeaccounting.net.
Spring Hill Sports live on Friday night, and that means Bronco football. 2 soccer broadcasts this week on the network, but this is the big chance for Bronco football to move to 4-3 before heading down to Lewisburg. We're going to get to the defensive starters as the Spring Hill defense will take the field first. The Broncos won the toss, elected to defer to the second half. The starting lineups are brought to you by Perfect Detail Salon and Suites, a full-service salon. The Broncos look to start this game in style, and style is what you'll find at Perfect Detail Salon and Suites. Stylists, nail, lash, and spray tan techs, massage therapists, and estheticians will get you back in the game, looking and feeling your best. Book your next appointment at salonperfectdetails.com. On the end, Tiafau, wanted to say it right the first time I do that one, BJ. Thomas Davis, Trigg Smith, and Debiak, the 6'4", 245-pound junior, biggest player on that defensive front there for Spring Hill. Hagen Witchcraft and Paul on the outside. Dominic Richardson and Noah Anderton, team's tackle leader, and also the team's sack leader, one of the most important defensive players for Spring Hill. Bell and Newton going to be at safety for this Spring Hill defense tonight. BJ, you're talking about this vulnerability to big plays, something that Spring Hill has kind of progressed throughout the season, gotten better and better, but need to keep that tight tonight against in a matchup where they will be favored. And this particular unit that's going out on the field is one of those. It's been kind of hot and cold, up and down on kickoff coverage. And it's interesting, too, because they've got some of the best tacklers, leading tacklers on that team. It's primarily been staying in your lanes, not getting sucked in on that kickoff return that could put you in a problem. And we've seen that other teams and teams that are inferior to the Broncos get the ball good field position off kickoff coverage and kickoff return. But Ryan Jackson is a weapon for this kicking squad, and he has done a nice job in place kicking as well as in these kickoffs. Yeah, that can be a rarity at the high school level, of course. Jackson set to get us underway. 68 degrees here at kickoff in Spring Hill. Kick by Jackson, going to bounce right in front and go back for the touchback. So Fort Scott Tigers start from the 20. And a question coming into this matchup, of course, who would be under center for Fort Scott? Mentioned the concussion protocols were affecting Cal Cousins' ability to start in that last game. Wearing number 5, he will start under center for these Tigers. That front 5 for the Broncos have really started to get along. On the run game is their strength. Getting to the quarterback has not always been their forte this season, but they're pretty dominant against the running game, that front 7. And sometimes at this level you can just see it so clearly when one side of the line just gets an advantage, gets a couple guys into that second level. That's what Spring Hill were doing all game long last week here at home, and they will have to wait, make a defensive stop first here tonight. Handoff up the middle, looked like maybe a couple yards there on first down for the Tigers. Maybe pick up of 1 or 2 on the play. Brandon Richardson filling in there. Brandon Richardson, Noah Anderton, those linebackers, I mean, pound for pound, they've got to be some of the most dominant in the Frontier League. They're sure tacklers. They come in. They're submarine guys that can get low on players. So a guy twice their size, they can take down to the ground with sure tackling. Each of them tops on the defensive side in tackling. And, BJ, you talked about player size. Well, what about roster size here tonight? If you just get a look at both sidelines, I mean, Spring Hill, full offense, full defense. You got a lot of players going two ways here for the Tigers.
Oh.
Early sack, and the ball is loose, and it's picked up by the Broncos. Big pile up. They're going to gain 5 or 6 yards for their trouble, and the Broncos. First and 10 from the 15, or the 11-yard line, looks like.
RJ Dominic came up with that ball on the fumble recovery. Somebody on the near side is who forced that, I believe. We'll have to go back and watch that one to know, but boy, what a break in that defense. They split through the O-line, got through there, and it was just a flat-on jailbreak, and then no good ball security. Puts it right, and a great opportunity for the Bronco offense to get this thing started right.
Beshore, pretty good night last Friday, recovered well from the couple of turnovers he made. A couple interceptions, but bounced back with scoring drives from those and takes over in prime position here for the Broncos. Handoff, first one for McKenna, and he gets in. One touch, one score, touchdown Broncos.
Number 5 runs it in.
Man, what a run, easy when he got contact right at the line of scrimmage, but was able to spin off that one would-be tackler, and then there just wasn't much support on that far side for him. And Colt McKenna, man, that's 9 touchdowns in 4 quarters and less than a minute of play.
So one play, 11 yards on the ground for McKenna, scoring his 17th touchdown of the season. And the Broncos will kick, and it's muffed. This is going to be interesting here. Back to pass goes Jackson. Actually completed it, but it was not close to the end zone.
Well, pretty good opportunity to try the fire call, but a good start for the Broncos.
Pass is complete. Number 4, Bryce Kirchner. An extra point.
So we'll step away for a moment. Broncos, quick 6-0 lead despite kicking off first right here on Spring Hill Sports Live.
Strode Orthodontics is creating beautiful, healthy smiles. Dr. Claire Strode and her staff have decades of combined experience, offering clear and metal Damon smile braces and Invisalign clear aligners for teens and adults. Dr. Strode tailors your treatment to meet your specific needs. With 3 convenient locations in Olathe, Overland Park, and Spring Hill, Strode Orthodontics is ready to give you the beautiful smile you've always wanted. Call for your free no-obligation consultation, 913-491-3400, or visit StrodeOrtho.com.
Jackson ready to kick off for the Broncos. Second time already, less than a minute gone in this one, and your Broncos have a touchdown through McKenna. I mentioned the 17th on the season.
Oh, the old Charlie Brown. That ball rolls off the...
It's a little bit windy here. It was much windier yesterday for the Broncos soccer broadcast, but comes Jackson's second attempt and connects a booming kick. Will be the second touchback for him. And another 20-yard line start for the Tigers. Looked like they were kind of trying to run one of those option plays out to the right side. That got busted real early before the quarterback Cousins, who is coming back from concussion protocol, immediately wrapped up by a pack. That's not how they wanted to start the game.
No, those big guys up front, I mean, that D-line, that's just not normal. You know, Fort Scott struggled, as we mentioned, but they also don't really see teams like that. They played Pittsburgh High this year. Pittsburgh High's got a couple of dudes that might look like Thomas Davis, but very few. And it'll be a full day for that O-line.
Cousins on first down, hand off to the fullback, who charges forward 3 yards in a pile.
Casey O'Neill right there on that one to make a play up front for that defensive line. They ran right at him and holds true in that A-gap. You can see the push. I mean, that's where you're going to be able to indicate whether or not Fort Scott's going to be able to run the ball. If they're getting anything at the line of scrimmage, and so far 3 runs, and the guys in purple have held that line of scrimmage pretty easily.
And that's really important with that big play defense, too, maintaining the pressure on the quarterback. Here's a pitch out to the right side. And that's Van running with it along for the first down.
Yeah, good run on that right side, able to seal the edge. It was well blocked also on that side. I think maybe caught the Broncos, that interior run. They'd seen it a few times and then weren't ready for that outside run. They'll be ready for it next time.
And you're not likely to see this Fort Scott team making too many personnel package substitutes. There's just not a lot of folks available for them. Wide receivers split. And motion early. It's going to be a draw play up the middle. And another pile. It's not going to be more than a yard or two.
Not even that. Basically back to the line of scrimmage.
On the carry number 16, Colton Rogers.
So that's something that you see at this level develops early, that line battle, and it can hold throughout the game. Spring Hill so far passing the test.
Yeah, I've done a lot of color. I've watched a lot of games. I was with Pitt State's broadcast crew for 10 years, and so watched some college football on a regular basis. And I could almost, within 2 plays, tell you who was going to win that football game. I mean, it's coach speak. Coaches say who wins the line of scrimmage, but there's a reason they say that every time.
Split wideouts again, and another stuff at the line for Spring Hill.
Number 6, Lennox Van.
Another one for Davis in there, Brandon Richardson. Those guys fill the gap so well. This D-line, it's just like an offensive line. You don't get a lot of credit, but I mentioned Colton McKenna had 500 yards rushing. That's an O-line deal. When a linebacker has 15 tackles, that's a D-line thing. And a lot of times people see that and recognize that, and you have to, as a D-lineman, as offensive lineman, I tell you, you have to know that, because otherwise there's not a lot of accolades coming your way. And it's hard work down there.
Early 3rd and 9 here for Fort Scott. And another fumble by the quarterback. Bouncing ball is loose down to the 10-yard line, eventually recovered by Fort Scott. But they're going to have to punt 4th and forever here for the Tigers.
Yeah, another one for Mark Debiak. Man-child, I mean, he is just physically gifted and knows how to get to the ball. I believe that's his 5th sack of the season, maybe even more than that. And he knows how to get back there, and it's a hard job for anybody who's got to block Debiak.
McKenna back there for Spring Hill. Actually, they've got 2 punt receivers. Looks like Paul joining him on the left side of the field. As Fort Scott to punt here from their own end zone. They're in trouble here in just the first quarter. Short punt may have gotten tipped, and it's touched down by the 34-yard line. And so the Broncos will take over from there.
Yeah, this Bronco defense, they've been the bright spot. They've been the consistent spot really for this team all season long. And they knew that coming into this year. Sophomore quarterback. Obviously, you're returning some talent on the offensive line and in the backfield, but you knew your defense was going to be solid, and they have been. The defense has really carried the water most games. And then here late, the offense gets going. This is a good football team.
And you see number 64, Logan Alexander, there at left guard. We highlighted that before the contest due to an injury, some shuffling around going on. Handoff for McKenna to the right side. Picks up a first down and more, towing the sideline and out of bounds at the 13.
And what a run. Again, just who's fastest to the edge on that play. Obviously helps to get a good, well blocked, but that was just a foot race, and McKenna's faster than their defense was.
So it's first and 10 from the 12 now. Quick offense as Beshore hands off again for McKenna, who cuts back inside up the middle, gains a couple.
On the carry, number 5, Colton McKenna.
Tackles made by Luke Harris for
made by number 81, Garen Young.
Fort Scott.
And again, Beshore quickly has 2 backs, 2 wideouts either side. Takes the snap, handoff McKenna. Follows his blockers and may have picked up the first down. The markers on about the 2-yard line. This could be 1st and goal Broncos, depending on the spot.
I like the tempo from Spring Hill. They are quick to the line of scrimmage when they felt like they had a little momentum, and we've seen them use that to their advantage. That quick tempo can really catch a defense off guard.
So it is 1st and goal. Beshore in shotgun. Hands off McKenna, driving forward, and is stopped just in front of the goal line.
That's one Colton McKenna's going to want to have back. He started that goal line lean about a yard and a half too early, and if he'd have done that when it needed to, he'd have easily plunged into the goal line, just kind of a little premature.
Looked like he might have picked the spot too early, too. Open space around him, but just try to lower the head. And luckily for Spring Hill, a couple more chances to punch it in here.
2 tight ends set. Watch those guys in the passing game.
Heavy formation. McKenna on the left takes the handoff. Right side, touchdown Broncos. 2nd of the game already for McKenna. And Spring Hill's cruising.
Yeah, just too easy. Too easy. O-line's getting a good push, and Buchanan knows how to find the open spot. Broncos may go for 2.
So I had it as a 5-play drive. All handoffs to McKenna, who now has touchdown runs of 11 and 2 yards on the game.
Tried the old swinging gate. Personnel, kicker's not in there. I think he maybe thought they were going for 2. He may have a timeout here on a special team situation. Play clock down to 7, and you will.
So unfortunately, Spring Hill forced to burn an early timeout. We'll take one as well. You're watching Bronco football here on Spring Hill Sports Live.
What is typically a daunting, frustrating, and intimidating experience was enjoyable and exciting because of Amy. She listened to what we envisioned for our future home and was able to show us houses that reflected this. She was with us every step of the way, taking the time to answer our phone calls and texts. We ended up with our dream home all thanks to Amy.
Feel at home while you find your next home with Amy Kelly of Reese Nichols Real Estate. Amy goes above and beyond for her clients and even makes a contribution to Ronald McDonald House with every closing. Contact Amy Kelly to buy or sell your home.
Looks like Broncos going to try to go for 2 after all. We're forced to burn a timeout. Sent some of the wrong personnel out there on the field after taking the 12-0 lead here in the first quarter. Be sure in shotgun again. And looked like a direct snap that time. Run in on the right side is going to be stopped short. So 0 for 2 on the extra points. No kick, no 2-point conversion.
Yeah, it looks like they were trying just a little option action, but there was no option back. It was just follow those 2 running backs through that hole and hope that you get it, and it just never opened up, and Be Sure gets caught up.
It didn't quite work, but still seeing solid play from that Spring Hill defense, and they've really come together early on in the season, struggling with those big plays, but of course the win last week and here so far really applying tons of pressure on Cal Cousins.
Yeah, right now you just keep on chopping wood if you're the Broncos. Things have gone pretty well. You take a couple of point after attempts out, and it's pretty much perfect.
Brian Jackson, 3rd time kicking off already as Spring Hill deferred to begin this one. And they've all gone for touchbacks so far, much for the joy of Broncos fans. Another booming kick by Jackson. Thought for a moment that one might be returned. Instead, from the 20, 3rd attempt now for the Tigers. Well, they moved the chains last time. We haven't seen him drop back to try to throw yet, not successfully at least. We've seen a couple of fumbles early for Cousins. That line really struggling to keep Spring Hill out of there.
Yeah, 2 turnovers in your first 2 drives for Fort Scott. At this point, you're just trying to execute here a little bit, and I guess they'd had a punt as well. So 2 turnovers and a punt. Not ideal.
1st and 10, man in motion. That play whistled dead. And it's going to be a false start. That makes things just a little more precarious just because of the yardage loss that we've already seen from Fort Scott. Now you can't take a sack. You can't take a run for a loss, and otherwise you're going to be punting out of the end zone again.
You don't want to take. The guys in purple have a little different plan, perhaps.
1st and 15, trailing 12-0. Tigers from Fort Scott just 1-5 on the season. And it's Harris and Hill out wide for Cousins. Takes the snap, looks to his right, and off the hands of his receiver. That was Landon Hill.
For number 28, Cedric Martin.
Or Martin, rather, on that far side. Not promising for the passing game either.
Got his guy out there, just wasn't able to make the catch. It would have been for a short game regardless, but boy, you like to get that completed.
Marquin Johnson listed on this roster as a tight end / defensive lineman. He subs into the game. Big presence. He's actually lining up out wide there on the far side of your screen. 2nd and 15. Back to pass. Cousins waiting, and all the options on that side were covered. Threw it toward the pylon.
Still pressure coming. He had more time than he has, but there was still enough people coming. He had to rush that one out of there and just kind of threw it to an open spot.
The passing game looking disjointed early on. And that Broncos secondary passing their first test. Fort Scott taking a lot of time, and that's really in contrast to what we've seen out of Spring Hill. You can feel that reflected in the confidence or lack thereof for both offenses.
Yeah, people don't make enough about tempo and kind of just, setting the tone, and that you can do that a lot of different ways, and sometimes just hurry the line of scrimmage and take advantage of that.
Timeout.
Fort Scott's got to take a timeout.
And we will take one as well. You're watching Bronco football on Spring Hill Sports Live.
Supreme Mechanical Solutions is a heating, AC, and refrigeration company with over 25 years of experience. They install and maintain equipment for residential and commercial customers throughout Kansas City with 100% satisfaction guaranteed. And they're available 24/7 for emergency repairs. Financing is available for system replacements. For supreme quality, think Supreme Mechanical Solutions. Learn more at smsofkc.com or call 913-433-4567.
First and 10, or third and 15, rather. This is coming out of a Fort Scott timeout here after an incompletion, after two incompletions. And they're backed up again against their own goal line.
You mentioned how deliberate they were being. It was just a little too deliberate and ended up having to run out of time. Plus, they recognize, it's silly, 6:10 to go in the first quarter, that this is a big play. But for Fort Scott, it really is. For probably some, demeanor, if nothing else, to have some success here.
One receiver wide left.
Yeah, there's free 5.
Might be another penalty.
Red flag on the play.
Debiak got a little excited.
Offside.
Third and 15, that's a DN's dream. He's chomping at the bit, frothing and wanting to go, and
Making it 3rd and 10.
gives him a free 5.
So they lost 5 yards on the penalty, get 5 right back. And on a passing down, see if Fort Scott can connect, sending Martin wide left, and big Marquin Johnson closer to the line. It's going to be a pitch out wide left, almost got a hand on it, but that one just about to the 30. We'll see where they spot it. It'll be a first down for Fort Scott.
I'll tell you what, Porter Jones, 24, almost had an interception on that one.
Yes.
On the pitch. I mean, he was a hand away from being able to come out with that ball. And you heard the crowd. It was so egregious, the crowd noticed it. Audible gasp as he flipped that ball out there. If you're intercepting the pitch, you're doing a pretty good job at that spot.
Jasper Allison in the 2-back set down the center and is stuffed at the line. Spring Hill stand tall.
On the carry, number 6.
Tell you what, Brandon Richardson, he's just so strong. I mean, he hit that fullback at the line of scrimmage. 16's coming through. Colton Rogers, 5'11", 170. Brandon Richardson, 5'10", 165. Giving up a little bit, but that was a stalemate, and I can tell you what, number 10 won it right at the point of attack, and then that allowed everybody else to come in there and make that play.
Harris out, Martin in for Fort Scott. As Cousins under center once again, single back, and man in motion. This one jammed up ahead and going to be whistled dead at the 36-yard line, looks like 37 maybe.
Miles Bell, first guy to come in there and make that play up in the middle, the safety run in the alley.
Colton Rogers.
Best run they've had.
Tackle made by number 31, Noah
finally
Anderson.
starting to gain some momentum here, the Tigers.
3rd and 3 for the Tigers.
Fumbled on the second play of their opening drive. They've got to make another 3rd down, just 3 to go this time. Harris wide left, Martin on the far side. Spring Hill in single coverage. Another draw play up the middle was stuffed at the line, and that's not going to get it done for the Tigers.
Thomas Davis, the guy right in the middle of that D-line, got stood up a little bit, but again, just strength and enough to hold them long enough for those linebackers to come upfield. And again, that's exactly what you're asking them to do. If you can take one guy, do it. If you can take two, even better, because that means that linebacker's coming completely free and can stop guys in the line of scrimmage. That time, Thomas Davis holding the line.
So on 4th and 3, it appears Fort Scott will punt.
For the Broncos, 25, Ryan Paul.
They did not have a very good one on the last one.
Yeah, Paul back to receive the last one. Only went about 15 yards from the line of scrimmage. This one might be even worse. It's going to go untouched by the Broncos. Well, in total, looks like it went 6
5 or
yards.
6 yards, yep.
And PA announcer said it was tipped.
Down at the Fort
Don't
Scott,
know if I saw
43.
the contact, but either way, result of the play, it's going to be Broncos ball. And for the 3rd time already starting inside the Fort Scott half.
Yeah, just great field position and just makes things a lot easier. Opens up your playbook, a lot more things you can do.
Beshore's got Metcalf wide left and Kirchner on the right side. McKenna to his right takes the handoff right up the gut for about 8 yards on first down.
You really like to see not much let down from the offensive line. You know, those guys have been in, both of those, Couch and Alexander, have played at different times this season at that spot, so they've got some varsity experience. Both of them have starting experience as well.
Looks like Anderton to the right, or first pass attempt for the quarterback intercepted by Fort Scott. So Spring Hill returned the favor now on the turnover and give up great field position on their first passing attempt of the game.
Well, it's a good play. You can see it as the edge of the screen. I think we missed the exact interception, but that's my fault. That's what you get for making me run camera, Alex. But that's just a good play. And Beshore had one of his interceptions last week was similar to that one, you know, just thrown not where it needed to be, and an easy interception for the other team. And so if you're Spring Hill, you certainly feel like you're completely in control of this game. But if you're Fort Scott, you know how bad it's gone, and yet you're only down by 12. A touchdown here makes it a lot more interesting.
One wide receiver out to the left, and Cousins takes it option pitch for Van, who is stopped near the line of scrimmage. That time the defense flowing out to that left side of the field.
R.J. Dominic, that outside linebacker, able to kind of stretch things out, and then James Newton does a great job running from his safety spot, corner spot to come up and make plays in the running game. That's really been the bright spot for the Broncos in the running game, is not just the strength of their D-line, and obviously those linebackers can get there, but those secondary guys like to hit you. Hagen Whitcraft wants to come up and pop you. James Newton wants to hit people. And when you got guys that play in that third level of your defense who can be physical, it just kind of makes things a little different.
2nd down and 10 out of the gun. Cousins up the middle, and
Fumble.
again, is that a fumble? Confusion on the field. Spring Hill trying to claim it. And that's going to go right back to Spring Hill. Succession of turnovers. Both teams run one play, second play, give it right back to the other team.
I don't know who forced that fumble. I believe Noah Anderson came up with it. They're giving a lot of love to Mark Debiak, perhaps Davis, those big guys up front. I tell you who started that was Casey O'Neill. Semarine at the line of scrimmage and went right where they were coming, the point of attack, and they just weren't able to do much, and then that allowed those guys to come in and rake at the ball. Dominance.
McKenna behind Beshore as Metcalf and Kirchner out wide on 1st and 10. Handoff McKenna. Follows the block right up the middle and gets a first down and about 4 more.
You just feel like they could do that every play.
So effective running out of the gun, kind of those late developing, that lets those linemen get up into that second level. And clearly Spring Hill able to do that in this one. Quick snap, handoff McKenna. Bouncing out, staying on his feet, and gaining a couple extra after the first hit.
Yeah, you mentioned that second level running by Colt McKenna. That's something that he certainly brings to the table. And the O-line gets credit for the first 5. Running back a lot of times can get credit for the next 5. And Colton's been able to take advantage of getting past that first level, and then he can make you miss. We saw it in the first play from scrimmage that he scores a touchdown. He made a guy miss.
McKenna to the left of B-Shore on this one. Takes the handoff up the middle once again and picks up about 6 on the play.
Yeah, behind the block of 59. Carter Bland, 6'1", 210. That guy getting in there and road grading guys into the secondary.
Offensive line certainly not troubled by the absence of Carter Meek, the left tackle, as a B-Shore in the shotgun from the 5-yard line. Handoff McKenna, sniffing the end zone and getting into the end zone for the 3rd time tonight. Colton McKenna puts the Broncos on top 18-0.
Goodness gracious.
Almost every play on that drive, every successful one at least, looked exactly the same. McKenna standing to the left of the quarterback, B-Shore taking the handoff in the shotgun. And we'll see here if the Broncos can finally convert an extra point on the 3rd try. That one up, and that one's good. So 19-0 here on Spring Hill Sports Live. Broncos up big early. You're watching Spring Hill Sports Live.
Are you looking for a trusted heating and air conditioning contractor? Look no further than Comfort Designs, Spring Hill's Heating and Air Conditioning Company. Comfort Designs Heating and Air has 100% NATE certified technicians who are friendly, knowledgeable, and ready to help. They'll care for your home and complete the job with speed and precision. Locally owned and operated right here in Spring Hill for more than 20 years. Comfort Designs Heating and Air Conditioning. See all they have to offer at comfortdesigns.net. Or schedule your appointment at 913-592-4453.
Set to kick off.
19-0 early here on Spring Hill Sports Live. And the kickoff is brought to you by Seats Incorporated. Kick off your new career with Seats Incorporated in Spring Hill. Seats is a leader in manufacturing of quality seating and accessories for vehicles with competitive wages and benefits. To see all their openings or to apply online, go to seatsinc.com. Just in time for Ryan Jackson kicking off for already the 4th time this evening. Dominant first quarter by the Broncos. Both teams have turned the rock over. Fort Scott have done so multiple times. And the Broncos have enjoyed prime field position offensively throughout this game.
Yeah, Fort Scott's had 5 possessions. They've got 3 turnovers and 2 punts. That's not ideal. Spring Hill has the 1 turnover as well. So 4 1/4 of play is less than stellar. But that's where we're at right now. And now if you're Fort Scott, you just try to get a few of the plays. You go back to playbook, and you go to playbook 1, play 2, play 3, play 4. Try to get those going positively, and if you can, then stick with them.
Cousins under center, hands off, and finally breaking through, making some progress there was Rogers.
Rogers is a bit of a load. If he can get going up, they've been so good of allowing him to be stopped at the line of scrimmage, in which he gets no head of steam. He's a big runner. Both hands over the ball. He's not going to break away from you likely. He's trying to get those hard yards, and that's another one of the best. That is probably the best runner they've had of the day.
Yeah, kind of coming out of that fullback spot, whether it's been offset or whether it's been just a couple steps behind the QB. They like to get it done near the line.
That would be the quarter. They're just going to let it run down here.
Yeah, they are going to let that first quarter run, but it's Broncos up big, 19-0 here. Second quarter coming up on Spring Hill Sports Live.
Hello, I'm Dr. Alyssa O'Connor, and I would like to welcome you to Sozo Chiropractic.
So many people only seek out a chiropractor when they are in pain, but ongoing wellness care helps you deal with stress and be healthier. At Sozo Chiropractic, the focus is on holistic wellness for any age. I am Webster certified for prenatal care, pediatric trained, as well as a family chiropractor. We also offer acupuncture and sauna services.
Sozo is a Greek word that means to heal, to make well, and to restore health. And that is our goal for each one of our patients who walks through the door.
Supreme Mechanical Solutions is a heating, AC, and refrigeration company with over 25 years of experience. They install and maintain equipment for residential and commercial customers throughout Kansas City with 100% satisfaction guaranteed. And they're available 24/7 for emergency repairs. Financing is available for system replacements. For supreme quality, think Supreme Mechanical Solutions. Learn more at smsofkc.com or call 913-433-4567.
Alex Smith, BJ Harris with you here on Spring Hill Sports Live as the Broncos scored 3 unanswered touchdowns in the first quarter, opening this one. And on 1st and 10 for the Tigers, gain of a couple as they are clearly trying to emphasize the running attack here and get things stabilized.
Yeah, they're emphasizing that running attack, and if you're Spring Hill, you still got to be disciplined. You can't everybody get sucked at. If you watch this at the snap, I kind of keep the frame the exact same, but more and more guys keep creeping into that frame. And all it's going to take is one guy to be able to wiggle past either Ryan Paul or James Newton, and that would be a touchdown. So watch that.
Johnson wide right, Harris wide left, and a single back formation as Cousins slides out, fumbles again, and this one going to be picked up by the Broncos.
Keanu Tiafau in there to make that forced fumble, and R.J. Dominic, his second fumble recovery of the game. And Cousins has got to take better care of the football.
Yeah, that one available for just to dive on it and some more. Prime field position for Spring Hill.
Yeah, it's starting to become a little inexcusable. If you know that's a problem, you know you're getting pressure. Quarterbacks, both hands on the football. You can run with both hands on the ball. You don't have to run with one hand. Now, even watch Mahomes, Patrick Mahomes. He'll do that occasionally, but most of the time when he's coming out of the pocket, he's got two hands on the football.
Noah Anderton in the backfield takes the handoff from B. Shore on 1st and 10 and chugs along, picking up about 4 or 5 yards.
Yeah, Anderton stepped in last week whenever Draven Pipkin had to go out with an injury. He's out again this week, so Anderton going to get a double duty. And you watch the way he plays linebacker, you just assume he's probably going to play running back that same way, and he does.
Right, and that's so valuable. Whether it is Pipkin or Anderton, that kind of spell back to be a more physical runner that kind of comes in fresh later in games on later down situations. Be sure on 2nd down, another handoff. Anderton trying to bend his way around and find the corner of the end zone. Touchdown Anderton, another touchdown Broncos. On the sweep, Noah Anderton typically applies his trade on the defensive side, but with Pipkin's sideline, a big opportunity for the score early on in this one.
First guy to meet him when he got to the sideline, Colton McKenna. Big old hug saying, I know how that feels a little bit. Feels good, doesn't it, buddy? Indeed.
Extra point is up and blocked at the line.
Of course.
And that special teams funk continues for Spring Hill, though. They still lead 25-0 here early in the second quarter rather, on Spring Hill Sports Live.
Elliott Group is a proud supporter of Spring Hill and USD 230. At Elliott Group, we work, live, and shop in your local communities. Serving Miami and Johnson counties for more than 45 years, Elliott Group understands your needs. As an independent insurance agency, Elliott Group works with numerous carriers to find the coverage that best fits your needs. In Spring Hill, call 913-592-5552 or visit ElliottInsuranceGroup.com.
Back here at Spring Hill Sports Live, it's turning into a rout early on for the Broncos, 25-0 here in quarter number 2. Early on, also in quarter number 2. BJ, we got some scores from around the state right now.
Well, not enough locally here. Ottawa and Bonner Springs. That's last week's score. Never mind. All right, I'll look at the final one. Not a ton around here actually. Parsons and Frontenac in Southeast Kansas. I thought we had more locally here. Now we got a penalty flag. That could be a delay of game.
We'll certainly get you all the scores from around Kansas as a part of our Michael Grant and Farmers Insurance halftime show. This has been a problem all night. The tee box for the kicker.
Delay game against the Broncos.
Well, they called it a delay game, but there was the ball was going to get blown off the tee, and so he asked for somebody to come in there. They didn't ever reset the play clock. Maybe they don't have to reset the play clock. I don't know. The coaches on the sideline seem as confused as I am, but Jackson, he can still put it down there plenty far.
Unconventional kickoff. And that one is either shanked or perhaps of the onside variety. Offense.
I certainly don't think that was an onside kick. I think that was just off the side of the foot of the kicker. You know, when you're holding it too, and you bring a guy in to put his finger on the ball, you never know how that's going to go. Think about it. Backyard, remember when you were kicking that ball? If you kicked it right, it's because you were a good kicker. If you kicked it wrong, it's because the guy holding it wasn't holding it right.
That's right. It sounds like me. It's everyone else's fault.
I never could kick that darn ball.
Martin back in the game, has been in and out, had that early pass bounce off his hands. He's wide right. Otherwise, pretty jumbo set here from Fort Scott on 1st and 10. Man in motions. Cousins takes the handoff to the fullback, still churning. Gets back to the line and maybe 1 or 2 more yards.
Carry, number 16, Colton Rogers.
Rogers, another tough carry, hard-earned 2.
They're all going to be hard-earned. R.J. Dominic having one of his best games of the season, the senior.
2nd and 9 for the Tigers.
And Fort Scott, you've seen them run in motion, a lot of running plays, a lot of that option type of action, and ball security is so essential for an offense like that.
Yeah, and
I don't know if it's going to work tonight.
That is true and has not been happened today.
Cousins has Rogers behind him. Dish off to the fullback and has some space. Running room. Down the sideline and able to keep it this time was Cousins. Nearly stripped as the tackle was made there by Porter Jones.
Yeah, Jones was trying to rake at it at the end, and there's the big play. We haven't given those up yet. And again, it's just tough. It's tough to stay focused whenever you're kind of dominating all the time. Early in a game, when things come to you so easily, it's hard to stay focused. I mean, these are high school kids, and I get it. And that time just kind of kept his legs going, able to make a big play.
Cousins on 1st and 10, man in motion, and decides to keep it. This time is repelled at the line of scrimmage.
On the carry, number 5,
Brandon Richardson again, along with Mark Debiak. Pretty good deal team there.
Brandon Richardson.
Yeah, that's not going to work 2 times in a row. They all look the same, of course, coming out of this package.
2nd and 10.
It's a question of whether those backs are going to get in there as lead blockers for the quarterback, whether he's going to hand it off. And Cousins responsible for really the only big play here of the night for Fort Scott. Second and 10. Cousins 2 backs behind him this time. Van is furthest behind, give to the fullback. And on the second charge there, it's going to end up as a pickup of a couple.
On the carry, number 6, Lennox Van.
If you want to watch a good matchup, just watch 73 Luke Harris, 6'4", 295, a sophomore, against Mark Debiak, 6'4", 245, and a junior. That's a lot of man right there at the point of attack. And occasionally Harris has won that battle. He did just a moment ago. He kept on him. Once that big body gets on him, it's a good-looking dude. That's just a sophomore, Luke Harris.
Yeah, and they like you to see it, too. Once they start pushing that guy back, just keep going, keep going. You end up with big guys near the sideline. Wonder how the heck they got there. It's because the O-line got the push. Under center is Cousins. Handoff this time does go to Van. And bottled up in the middle. Might have gained a couple more. But still going to be well short of that first down.
And there's just so many Broncos at the point of attack. Again, Brandon Richardson in there, sticking his nose in it. But everything's so close to the line of scrimmage, it's easy for everybody to get to the ball.
4th and 8 for the
So it's 4th and 8 now for the Tigers. At the entry of the Spring Hill red zone here, they're going to go for it. And why not down big early? Jasper Allison out there. Martin as well as Cal Cousins awaits the call. We have a timeout on the field. They let the play clock go down to just 1 second before they called it. We'll take it 2 here on Spring Hill Sports Live.
For more than 20 years, Gherkin Rental has been the place to go to get the job done in eastern Kansas and western Missouri. With a huge selection of quality equipment, from roll-offs to trailers, telehandlers to generators, power washers to popcorn makers. Experienced equipment professionals and clean, well-maintained tools to help you get the job done right the first time. Gherkin Rental. Stop by any of their 13 locations across the KC Metro or call 855-GHERKINS. That's 855-437-5367.
Stupid Go Brawly internet.
Go Brawly allows you complete control over internet usage for all devices in your home from anywhere, as it should be. Visit GoBrawly.com to learn more.
Fourth and 8 from the Spring Hill 20. Tigers trying to get on the board for the first time.
Oh, boy.
And Cousins under center. The motion started. That's not going to help one bit.
In his defense, Luke Harris had no idea that I just talked about him a couple of plays ago. And so, you know, that's the broadcaster's curse that he's going to have a hold or a jump off sides the next play. But this is their best opportunity, and this is not a great opportunity at 4th and 13. But this is the best opportunity they've had yet, and they just need to pick up a first down, try to keep this drive alive.
Might need to air it out here. Cousins looks right, then left on 4th down. Tucks and just tries not to lose it as he's bottled up behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a sack and a turnover on downs.
It's good coverage down the field. Never had a chance. About the most time Cousins has had all game. Able to step up in the pocket.
Preliminary signal holding.
At least you saw him secure it. For a moment there, it looked like he wanted to throw on the run. Had a couple purple shirts around him, and it looked dangerous. So Spring Hill to take over. It's like the 26-yard line. 27, check that. And it's turned into a balanced running attack after that last sequence with Anderton taking a couple touches. But McKenna back out there, single back behind Beshore in the gun. On 1st and 10, handoff McKenna. Tons of space to run into here on the left side. And dishes out some pain before stepping out of bounds. Might have a late hit there.
It would have been a late hit if 6 didn't get more of 5 than he wanted. It was a late hit, probably, but McKenna was still kind of in, you know, give it to you mode.
Yeah, it looked like McKenna wanted to kind of late hit back, and that, you know, the foul's offset, as they say. Another single back look for Spring Hill. Play action this time, and it's completed. Nice pass out to the tight end. That's D'Albini, and running into some space, picks up about 22 yards.
Yep, if you're looking at the Broncos and you're trying to find guys that might be able to play at the next level, look at 84. I don't know if he has aspirations of that, but he's certainly got the physical ability to do so. Good soft hands. He's a basketball player as well, 6'4", just a sophomore, just a junior as well. So Cooper D'Albini.
D'Albini right side as the tight end, Metcalf. And looks like Kitchener on this side here. The draw for McKenna. Picks up about 6 or 7.
Tackle may have been number 44, J.C. Gross.
Fort Scott on their heels.
2nd and 3 for the Broncos.
Been kind of in their heels since the word go. Kudos to them. Come up here to the city, play 5A school, but not going well.
Takes the snap, handoff. McKenna. Good patience here, cutting to the right side. And this could be the 4th touchdown of the game for McKenna to the pylon. Touchdown Broncos.
Man, what a cut in that second level. He put a foot in the ground and froze the entire defense, and that gave him just enough to run past them.
Yeah, definitely the best touchdown of the night so far for McKenna, as he took that handoff too, just kind of paused for a moment and allowed those blockers to continue to get down the field. It really opened up so much space there on the right side. And the two-point conversion, good.
It was a fire call, actually. It was they were lining up to run the PAT, and they ran the fire accurately to Cooper D'Albini. Again, he got a good catch on that one, able to catch the two-point conversion as well. I don't know if that was a called fire. I didn't see a mishandling of the snap necessarily, but it was executed well.
So they missed a couple of extra points. They've completed the two-point conversion on the hard play, and it's now 33-0 here on Spring Hill Sports Live.
At Olathe Health, we perform cutting-edge surgical procedures because changing lives with innovative care drives us, one patient at a time. Olathe Health, advanced healthcare, advancing lives.
If you're off your game because of pain or injury, turn to Olathe Health because orthopedics is our game. Joint repair and replacement, chronic conditions and injuries, hand surgery, sports medicine.
Well, might want to just start enforcing these kickoff tee holders from now on in this one. We've seen that ball blow over a couple times now.
A kicker will never do it first. They have to have the ball fly off because they don't want it. They don't like it. We've already seen the example in that last one of what could happen. See if they execute this time.
Another squibber. Not a bad kick, though. It's going to be picked up by Rogers. And Rogers wrapped up by a crowd. Looked like
number 16, Colton Rogers.
It was Gardner there first for Spring Hill.
Finished off with number 56, Bo Gardner.
Well, the offense, we'll see this starting offense likely here on this drive and then perhaps on the opening drive of the second half. And
ball spotted at the Fort Scott 30-yard line.
Yeah, might be an early night in the locker room for Cousins. Again, back this week after missing the last game with concussion protocol. Too wide in that jumbo multi-back look that Fort Scott operate out of. Handoff. And a first down, a couple more for Rogers.
It's certainly been whenever they've been able to have a nice run. They've had a couple of them here of late. It's been because of him getting to the second level quicker and having that momentum. I talked about earlier, the D-line able to hold him at the line of scrimmage. If he can get to the second level with some momentum, he's harder to bring down, and that's what we've seen. When they've had better runs, it's been because of that.
Rogers in the backfield again. Got Van back there with him too. Cousins takes the snap. Another handoff to Rogers. This time is bottled up after a gain of about 2. And they kind of try to feed the hot hand, give one guy the ball 2 or 3 times in a row.
16,
That's been the recipe, at least when they've been moving the ball just a little bit.
Well, I like the simplicity of it. I mean, if you're struggling and you maybe don't have the exact guys you want to be able to do what you want to do offensively, you got to do something that you can still execute. I've seen too many teams that maybe didn't have the personnel but tried to run a 5-wide spread, and it's a disadvantage to the kids. They don't give them the best opportunity for success. This offense at least allows them to run a good offense.
And this time Cousins keeps it rather, and doesn't do much better than Rogers on first down.
On the carry, number 5, Cal Cousins.
Looks like a couple of 2-yard runs will set up third and about 6.
Stop, number 66, Keanu Tiafau.
That same front 5, Casey O'Neill, Mark Debiak's going to come in for him. O'Neill undersized in that D-line, but gets in there and really can penetrate. He's the kind of guy, 5'11", 195. I'd rather block, when I was in high school, I would rather block a guy like Thomas Davis at 6'2", 205 than a guy like Casey O'Neill at 5'11", 175. They're the small guys, tougher to block for a lot of those big offensive linemen.
Yeah, on 3rd and 6, pitch out to Van.
There was a fumble, but recovered somehow.
By number 7,
popped out again, and
by number 16.
Yeah, finally Fort Scott recover one of their own. Rogers diving on the ball.
Tackle made by number 57.
And that will bring about 4th down and about 4.
Penalty flag out there? No.
4th and 3 for the
Just
Tigers.
a speck on my monitor that looked like a penalty flag. That's how dialed in I am, Alex. Specks are getting me. I'm seeing flags everywhere.
Locked in here on a gorgeous Friday night on Spring Hill Sports Live. Broncos up big, trying to get the stop here on 4th down. Handoff Rogers is going to get the first and a couple more too. And Rogers just doesn't want to go down.
On the carry,
Marked
16,
at
Colton
the,
Rogers.
looks like the 41-yard line there with forward progress.
Yeah, at this point, a first down is marked success, I would say, for Fort Scott. I mean, that's all you can do. If you're on that sideline, you're like, hey, we got to get a first down. Let's try to get a good down on first down, try to get 3 or 4. In this offense, that's about the best you can ask for. And if you can do that a couple of times, 3 times, you got a first down.
Rogers, Allison, and Van, the backs for Cousins, taking the snap on first down, and Rogers is going to be tackled after the gain of 1.
Front 7 guys are boring the back 4 guys. Those guys in the secondary are bored to tears right now.
Obviously, we saw the struggles with fumbling the football early on in this game. Do you think Fort Scott may be abandoning the pass a little too prematurely here, or is it just a matter of ball security?
I think it's a matter of shortening this game.
Right.
I think it's a matter of, try not to let this thing get really, really out of hand. Try to do what you need to do. And, they're going to get into district play. They're going to have opportunities if they can get some things going positively for themselves.
Cousins keeps it himself and coughs it up again. Spring Hill moving the other way. And another fumble by Fort Scott quarterback Cal Cousins.
That might be the 3rd forced fumble by Mark Debiak. I didn't catch one of them. I know he's got 2, and I think on the other one, I thought we said it might have been forced by him. That's a pretty good day if you've got 3 forced fumbles. The only one guy having a better day is Colt McKenna.
Spring Hill offense back out on the field, probably the longest rest they've had in this one.
Yep.
As B-Shore in the gun is flanked by Anderton this time. 3 wide. Takes the snap, handoff Anderton. Good patience, makes a man miss, stays on his feet, and gets the first down.
On the carry,
it's for Noah Anderton.
Well, he did a good job to keep his feet churning and get up the field. You can kind of see he probably doesn't get quite as many reps at running back as he would probably like to at playing starting linebacker, but he ran into a guy initially because he went to where he thought the hole was going to be and didn't really have that initial cut to find the hole. But, boy, once he bounced off of it, he was off and running.
Anderton on the left of B-Shore this time. And we got a flag on the play.
Illegal procedure against the Broncos.
Looks like Broncos called for
15 at midfield.
The illegal procedure, takes them back to the 50.
Really,
1st and 15.
With the exception of one B-Shore interception and that penalty, it's been a pretty crystal clear game for the Broncos.
Spring Hill Broncos get the call. Single back set here. As they're split out wide for B-Shore, back to pass, and has a swing man. It's Torres cutting back to the middle of the field and picking up 5.
Number 9, Jackson Torres.
Jackson Torres, very good young wide receiver for the Broncos. He'll be a very big bright spot for them moving forward. He's got good size as just a sophomore at 5'10", 150, or excuse me, it's a 6'2", 205. Just a sophomore, he is going to be a force.
B-Shore takes the snap, rolling this time, and just gets rid of it.
Pass falls incomplete.
Didn't have much going on, but was outside of the pocket.
It was a good play, and the last one before the half, not to throw it away. It's just a smart play by your sophomore quarterback.
Coming up next, our Michael Gran Farm Bureau Financial Services halftime show. You're watching Bronco Domination here on Spring Hill Sports Live.
Michael Grant at Farm Bureau Financial Services is a proud supporter of Spring Hill and cheering on the Broncos. At Farm Bureau Financial Services, their #1 goal is to protect you and your family. Insurance is complicated and not one size fits all. Michael and his team take pride in the relationship they build with their client members. Let them work with you to customize a plan that protects your livelihood and your future. To learn more, call Michael Grant at Farm Bureau Financial Services 913-592-2336 or visit them at 117 South Main in Spring Hill.
Are you looking for a trusted heating and air conditioning contractor? Look no further than Comfort Designs, Spring Hill's heating and air conditioning company. Comfort Designs Heating and Air has 100% NATE certified technicians who are friendly, knowledgeable, and ready to help. They'll care for your home and complete the job with speed and precision. Locally owned and operated right here in Spring Hill for more than 20 years. Comfort Designs Heating and Air Conditioning. See all they have to offer at comfortdesigns.net or schedule your appointment at 913-592-4453.
Marching Bronco Drumline.
Well, fans, please welcome the Marching Broncos Drumline. We love the band here on Spring Hill Sports Live, and we know you do too. The halftime show is brought to you by Michael Grant at Farm Bureau Financial Services. Michael's goal is to help you plan for the unexpected and protect your future. Getting to know you and the things that are most important to you will help them customize the right plan for your needs. To learn more, visit them at 117 South Main in Spring Hill or call 913-592-2336. So thankful for Michael Grant at Farm Bureau Financial and all of our sponsors here on Lewisburg Sports Live.
Spring Hill.
Smith here.
It's bound to happen. I can't believe you made it this long. Alex has the duty of being on every one of our channels, so to your credit, that's tough to do. I would have done it 14 times by now.
It's the purple. It's the purple shirts thing. Yeah.
This
is Spring Hill Sports Live, of course, though, and we're also thankful, though, for the Lewisburg sponsors, too.
Yeah, absolutely.
BJ, lopsided score here at the half. We highlighted the line play, but really it's been that swarming defense, and the Tigers from that opening possession really just never got going offensively.
Yeah, you know, when you're Spring Hill and you're preparing for a game like this, you know, it's normal to look ahead and go, okay, who's Fort Scott? And you see the numbers and you see the lopsided scores, and throughout that week you're thinking, man, they're probably not very good. It's going to be a game we're going to be able to come out and dominate, and sometimes that can sneak into your mind and make you not play real well. The Broncos have played well, and if you're a coach, that's one of the things you want to look at. Not have that letdown. Don't play down to your competition.
Right.
No knock to Fort Scott. It's clear that they're going through a little bit of struggles here. That happens in a small town. You're at the mercy of what kids you've got to be able to play the particular sport, and right now, just football's not quite the thing. Their numbers are down a little bit, and I have no doubt over the history of football in Southeast Kansas, Fort Scott will be right back in the mix soon enough. And for everybody in Southeast Kansas, they're breathing a sigh of relief without that red juggernaut right there that comes through and beats everybody up. So kudos for them again for coming up here to play a Spring Hill team that's starting to hit their stride a little bit, find their identity. What are they in the running game? Defensively, can you play nasty enough to win a game like this and say, no, you're not going to gain another yard? That's what we've seen from Spring Hill so far, and that's going to be promising. Again, you're looking towards that game next week just a little bit. You could say you're not, one game of a time, all that stuff. But right now, the Broncos are thinking about Lewisburg next week, and this is a Spring Hill team that has, again, I think found their identity enough that if they can put it all together, and they get some of those guys back from injury, and then put together this type of team, they can go over there and get a big upset in the Frontier League. But still got to have a play, but right now they're in full control of this one over Fort Scott.
Right, BJ. They're thinking about Lewisburg. I'm thinking about Lewisburg. And with a 33-0 scoreline here, we're set for hopefully a rapid and uneventful second half, at least for Broncos fans, as you are watching the Broncos here on Spring Hill Sports Live.
Looks like we have a performance from some little cheerleaders.
Oh,
so
my goodness.
This is, I mean.
Oh, no commercials here.
Michael Grand wants us to talk about football as much as possible, but he also wants moms to come on here and watch this one, I think. He wants to make sure we, of course they'll play music that we can't broadcast over the air, and it will certainly limit our ability. But you get a chance to see some of these littles doing some cheer. This is the greatest plan ever of trying to keep people to come in here and be in the stands. Have a dance competition at halftime, or have little dancers at halftime. You can always fill the stands that way. It's
right. You love to
smart.
see. Yeah, and this is the final regular season home game in football for Spring Hill too. So great the crowd on hand this evening to take in the Broncos and Fort Scott. We're going to have halftime stats, hopefully a look around Kansas as well when we return on your Michael Grand Farm Bureau Financial Services halftime show. You're watching Lewisburg Sports Live.
You did.
Up your lawn care game at Hers Inc. in Spring Hill. We have one of the area's largest and most diverse selections of lawnmowers, including top brands like Altos, Bobcat, Gravely, Dixie Chopper, and Red Max. Quality built machines for any size job. And when you get your mower at Hers, we offer full service and repairs covered by your warranty. From the backyard to the back 40, the all-star lineup of mowers at Hers will make you the captain of the lawn. See the full lineup at hersinc.net. Call 913-247-3530 or just stop on by.
For more than 20 years, Gherkin Rental has been the place to go to get the job done in eastern Kansas and western Missouri. With a huge selection of quality equipment, from roll-offs to trailers, telehandlers to generators, power washers to popcorn makers. Experienced equipment professionals and clean, well-maintained tools to help you get the job done right the first time. Gherkin Rental. Stop by any of their 13 locations across the KC Metro or call 855-GHERKINS. That's 855-437-5367.
You've been in there over 30 minutes. You don't pay the water bill, get out.
Wouldn't it be great if you could control your internet usage like other utilities?
I can.
No, I mean if you could control how much usage there was so you could save yourself money, like with water.
Yeah, I know. I already can with Go Brawley.
Oh, well, now you can. With the all-new app from Go Brawley, you'll have complete control from anywhere. Visit GoBrawley.com to learn more.
Spring Hill's hometown shop is J&T Auto Service. As a full-service repair shop, J&T Auto Service works on all makes and models. Diesels, Europeans, they do it all. From combines to Corvettes. Visit J&T Auto Service for oil changes, tires, brakes, alignments, electrical diagnostics, and so much more. Small town, friendly service with high-tech tools and training. Schedule your service at J&T Auto Service. Call 913-592-6424. You can also visit jtautoinc.com.
Supreme Mechanical Solutions is a heating, AC, and refrigeration company with over 25 years of experience. They install and maintain equipment for residential and commercial customers throughout Kansas City with 100% satisfaction guaranteed. And they're available 24/7 for emergency repairs. Financing is available for system replacements. For supreme quality, think Supreme Mechanical Solutions. Learn more at smsofkc.com or call 913-433-4567.
The halftime stats and area matchups are brought to you by Supreme Mechanical Solutions. When your thermostat is too hot or too cold, call Supreme Mechanical Solutions. Learn more at smsofkc.com. Check them out on Facebook or call 913-433-4567.
Well, unfortunately, we don't have stats tonight as Alex is cutting his teeth on play-by-play, and I'm cutting my teeth on camera operation. But we do have some area scores, so those will be our numbers. We'll deliver to you some teams that are hot and cold throughout the area. right here. Parsons Frontenac, that's a good one, 14-0. That's down in southeast Kansas, a little closer to home. Lawrence and Lawrence Free State. Alex, you don't know this, but for years, Lawrence High School just won every state title ever. Then they split the schools. Neither one of those teams have won a state title since, and they're both very, very good still. But Lawrence is 14 over Free State 7. Free State's been the stronger team in that rivalry over the last few years. Oh, fairly close by, Prairie View 12 over Iola. Both those teams struggling just a little bit. Wellsville 41 over Santa Fe Trail. Wellsville Eagles have had a pretty good run here over the last couple of years. Mostly big, small schools throughout the area that so far. Girard against Anderson County on homecoming. That's one across our network that we like to keep track of. You don't know this either, but we talk a lot of Girard football, which makes no sense up here in Spring Hill. Lewisburg 14 over Ottawa, a little closer perhaps. That one over on our sister channel, Lewisburg Sports Live. Baxter Springs, that's down southeast Kansas. Trying to find a few more of those. Not a lot else in the metro. We're going to go on a hunt, though, to try to find that Mill Valley Olathe North score. That's probably the biggest one in the metro. That might be the biggest game, in fact, in southeast Kansas, or in the state of Kansas, is Mill Valley and Olathe North. Mill Valley, the perennial power in Class 5A. They've won, I think, 3 out of the last 5 state titles in that classification. Olathe North, obviously one of the biggest schools in the state as well, and so we'll get that score and bring it away here as well. Those will have to be your halftime stats for today.
Some more to come on the Michael Grant Halftime Show here on Spring Hill Sports Live.
What is typically a daunting, frustrating, and intimidating experience was enjoyable and exciting because of Amy. She listened to what we envisioned for our future home and was able to show us houses that reflected this. She was with us every step of the way, taking the time to answer our phone calls and texts. We ended up with our dream home, all thanks to Amy.
Feel at home while you find your next home with Amy Kelly of Reese Nichols Real Estate. Amy goes above and beyond for her clients and even makes a contribution to Ronald McDonald House with every closing. Contact Amy Kelly to buy or sell your home.
Massage is more than relaxation. Apex Massage Therapy can go beyond with targeted work for headaches and sinuses, myofascial releases, trigger point therapy, neuromuscular therapy, reflexology, cupping, and hot stones. Kylie's hands go right to the problem areas and work out all the issues. She is certified in prenatal massages, oncology, lymphatic drainage, pre- and post-surgery massages, and she can also work on minors and athletes. For openings and specials, like and follow Apex MT on Facebook.
A great collision on the field? Awesome. An awesome collision on the road? Not so great. If that bad play does come your way, take your car to Shoemaker Collision and Paint Center. As Kansas City's premier auto collision repair center, they work on all makes and models, even RV, marine, aviation, motorcycles, and more. Shoemaker Collision offers free estimates and loaners, plus they will work with all insurance companies. Get your ride back in the game. Learn more at shoemakercollision.com or call 913-592-0095.
Strode Orthodontics is creating beautiful, healthy smiles. Dr. Claire Strode and her staff have decades of combined experience, offering clear and metal Damon smile braces and Invisalign clear aligners for teens and adults. Dr. Strode tailors your treatment to meet your specific needs with 3 convenient locations in Olathe, Overland Park, and Spring Hill. Strode Orthodontics is ready to give you the beautiful smile you've always wanted. Call for your free, no-obligation consultation, 913-491-3400, or visit StrodeOrtho.com.
Michael Grant at Farm Bureau Financial Services is a proud supporter of Spring Hill and cheering on the Broncos. At Farm Bureau Financial Services, their #1 goal is to protect you and your family. Insurance is complicated and not one size fits all. Michael and his team take pride in the relationship they build with their client members. Let them work with you to customize a plan that protects your livelihood and your future. To learn more, call Michael Grant at Farm Bureau Financial Services 913-592-2336 or visit them at 117 South Main in Spring Hill.
Are you looking for a trusted heating and air conditioning contractor? Look no further than Comfort Designs, Spring Hill's heating and air conditioning company. Comfort Designs Heating and Air has 100% NATE certified technicians who are friendly, knowledgeable, and ready to help. They'll care for your home and complete the job with speed and precision. Locally owned and operated right here in Spring Hill for more than 20 years. Comfort Designs Heating and Air Conditioning. See all they have to offer at comfortdesigns.net or schedule your appointment at 913-592-4453.
Rain Dance Studios is the area's newest dance studio with professionally trained staff, a brand new facility, and classes for every dance and tumbling level. Rain Dance Studios is everything you never knew you needed in a dance family. With an emphasis on customer experience, exquisite dance technique, and dancer confidence, Rain is the dance studio for every aspiring dancer. Come join Spring Hill's premier dance experience and get the royal treatment. Schedule a free 2-week trial by visiting raindancestudios.com.
Alex Smith and BJ Harris here with you on the halftime show. BJ, obviously first half we saw all Spring Hill Broncos. What do you expect coming up here in the second?
Yeah, we saw the Broncos, and you got a big heavy dose of what we talked about in our pregame was Colton McKenna. What a season he's already putting together, and he had four running touchdowns this week. He's done it in 3 weeks in a row. It's funny, a sponsor of our halftime show, Mike Grant, I talked to him before the show. He lives nearby Colton, known him a long time, friend of the family, and I asked him, how does he think the Broncos are going to be? David Pipkin coming back at running back. He said, watch Colton McKenna. He's really put in the work this last year. The same thing, the coaching staff. I asked about the offense and all the guys they had coming back, and they said, boy, watch Colton McKenna. He has had a really good offseason, and both coaches and Mike knows insurance and football. Dual threat. That's what kind of guy you got there. And he's done it. And it's been a team effort, obviously, but you see what he can do at the second level. You see what he can do to this team. Just give him that spark. And really, that's what it was. Spring Hill was trying to fill the shoes of one of the most transcendent players they'd had in a long time in Zach Knowlton last year. Zach was an all-state level player, played in the Shrine Bowl, and they needed that playmaker, and it's turned into number 5, and the rest of the team has kind of rallied behind that and is putting in a pretty good effort. Now, on the other side of things, Fort Scott's struggling. So it's not all rainbows and sunshine all the time, just because sometimes you do have to look at the competition, but you got to go execute. You want to come out in this second half and prove that you can keep your focus with some success and carry it into the second half, have a good drive with your offense onto the field to begin with, and then kind of put the hay in the barn and get ready for next week.
So for the first time in this one, the Broncos are going to receive the kick to begin the second half. They deferred originally after the toss. Thanks for joining us for the Michael Grant at Farm Bureau Financial Services halftime show. A reminder, Michael's goal is to help you plan for the unexpected as well as protect your future. Getting to know you and the things that are most important to you will help them customize the right plan for your needs. Learn more and visit them at 117 South Main in Spring Hill or call 913-592-2336.
You also start to look for the game within the game. How do you motivate yourself? How do you continue to stay up for a game in which you've got such a good lead? If I'm defense, I want to see a 0 on that scoreboard when I leave this place, because that's your motivation. Yeah, you feel like you probably got this thing in hand for the most part, so now let's go pitch a shutout.
Right, and that was the Fort Scott newspapers kind of lead to their story about the last game where they got crushed by Chanute. They did manage to kind of break the shutout late in the fourth quarter, and saw some words written about how the Chanute coaching staff was not happy. Don't think Spring Hill would be any happier giving up points here in the second half.
Well, that Chanute team's really good.
It is really good.
They're kind of in the number 4 spot behind all the private schools in Class 4A, but they'll have their chance, I think.
Lennox Van to kick off here. And it's taken by McKenna. Head full of steam for McKenna. Hasn't been touched to the 43. Beats 2 defenders. McKenna, 30, 20, 10. Colton McKenna. First time he touches it in the second half. And another touchdown for Spring Hill's running back.
That just opened up. And the most awesome part of that play was in the open field. And he knew. He put a little jab step to the inside, put those shoulders to the inside, and went back against that guy. Never had a chance. Could never get him squared up. That's probably one of his best assets, is that you never get a square hit on him.
Extra point has been a struggle, and my goodness, that continues. Nice move there by the kicker, Ryan Jackson, floated up into the corner, and it's an interception in the end, broken up by the receiver, yeah.
Boy.
What a start, though, to the third quarter as the Broncos score on the kick return.
Too easy to start this one. 5 touchdowns now.
4 on the ground, 1 in the return game. Where did he catch that ball? About the 8 or 9 yard line, maybe?
That's your job. Yeah, it was deep. It was a decent kick.
Yeah, it was a good kick. First kickoff of the game, like we said.
Yeah, it's the first time that coverage team had been out there for the Tigers. And I would say, I don't know, in their scout, they probably didn't expect Colton McKenna to be back. He was not back returning kicks last week, so there's a chance they maybe didn't think he was on the field. Not that that would matter. You kind of defended the same way. But, man, once he got in the open field, it was well blocked at the initial point of attack. And then maybe he did. Maybe he has it in his mind right off the bat that he wants to go score a touchdown. That's not realistic oftentimes, but once he saw some green, it was Pater is all he had on his mind.
Yeah, that last 35 yards, he was gone in a flash. Ryan Jackson to kick now for Spring Hill as the return took 13 seconds off the clock. Kick fielded at the 8-yard line. Returned out to the 20, first contact made. And drives down Fort Scott at about the 22.
Brandon Richardson again on special teams.
On the return, number 16, Colton Rogers.
Also down there to help out with that tackle was Bo Gardner. You mentioned his name a couple of times on kick coverage. Porter Jones right there as well.
So a couple touchbacks already for Jackson. Same end result here as the Tigers will start 1st and 10 from the 20.
Well, we'll see what the Tigers have. It's just not been able to get much going. They did a little bit better late in that half, but
couple receivers, man in motion, takes the snap, handoff up the gut for about 2 yards. That's what we saw from the Tigers throughout the first half.
And Lennox Van's going to be in at quarterback as well for them. So they've taken Cousins out. Van was in at least on that first snap.
And Van at least initially seemed to kind of be the lead back for Fort Scott, kind of spelled by Colton Rogers, number 16. Looks like Van's under center. That doesn't help those ball security issues. Handoff goes for maybe a yard, but stuffed right at the line again.
Thomas Davis, Brandon Richardson, and Mark Debiak. They're just not getting any push at the line of scrimmage at all.
Well, right, and it's almost like those kind of fullback runs where they hand it off to the guy that's down in the three-point stance. There's no time for the play to even develop. It seems like there's no time, even if Fort Scott did get a good push. There's no time to create that space.
When it's ran well, this offense is real tough to stop. But it's just you got to have the right guys, and you have to have a defense that's not smothering right now across from you.
On 3rd and 7, Van takes the snap back to pass. Might have been deflected, nearly picked off by Spring Hill. So it'll be 4th and 7. That pass may have been tipped. There was pressure on Van in the pocket.
Bronco D-line gets quite a bit of pass deflections when you've got those big guys. Thomas Davis in there at 6'3", and Debiak at 6'4".
And you sense that ball security might be even more of a problem maybe with the backup quarterback situation now for Fort Scott. Set to punt has not really worked for them yet. A low spinning punt is going to bounce out at about the 46-yard line.
That's when you almost think, run that play on 4th down and try to throw an interception. You know, it's hard for a D-back not to catch the ball, and it's thrown up to him. Maybe he'll get a little more on that. But
yeah, the punts have gone about 10 yards each beyond the line of scrimmage. That one no different. Didn't get Spring Hill on the other side of the 50. Still running. A lot of the starters out there, McKenna and Beshore behind center. Evan Brown out wide. Beshore takes the snap, handoff McKenna, and he's bottled up for a loss.
On the carry, number 5, Colton McKenna.
First time he's gone the opposite direction of forward in this game.
Yeah, just a loss of 1 and makes for the bench, replaced by Anderton It's been another storyline to follow for Broncos fans is who's going to replace that Pipkin role. Might mean a little more for McKenna as this reverse handoff for Jackson Torres. He gets space on the outside and eventually shoved out of bounds by Rogers.
And good run by Torres on the end around, and that one takes plenty of time to develop, and if it's blocked right, you're going to have a big, and they were able to seal that edge, and then once he turned the corner, it was going to be a good gain.
1st and 10 Broncos.
1st and 10 from the 23-yard line as Anderton remains in the contest. Beshore in the gun. Takes the snap. And the play-action pass completed out to the far side. Back to Torres, who lost it. And you could see Torres kind of had his arm ripped by the Fort Scott defenders. They recover that one. A much-needed turnover created by a nice tackle there on the far side.
Yeah, that play started out a little funky, and I don't believe Torres was lined up where he was supposed to be. You saw Beshore say spread out a little bit and popped him out there, and then still executed the play, but was a little out of sorts. Once he got turned around, then it's just ripped out the ball. Sophomore making sophomore mistakes on the edge there, but still like his upside for sure.
So we're going to see what Lennox Van can do this time for Fort Scott. They'll start at the 19-yard line. Under center, wide right receiver, and a cluster of players to his left. Takes the handoff, plows forward himself. Lennox Van, gain of maybe one on the play.
Sure if that was supposed to be handed. I think that was maybe supposed to be handed off, and the running back may just not have taken the handoff. Quarterback was left holding the bag.
And that is another thing that's even more difficult with those quick handoffs, too. Those inside runs that Fort Scott are trying to do. This time Rogers looks like he's going to line up behind Lennox Van on 2nd and 10. Handoff to the fullback. Rogers can't find space, and a couple players there to wrap him up. Tiafow on the play. And it'll be 3rd and 10. Back-to-back runs stopped at the line of scrimmage. That push is all Spring Hill.
3rd and 11.
That's a loss of one on the play.
18.
So passing down for Lennox Van here. As they'll hand it off anyway. Keep that time burning and maybe get a first down and more. Rogers to the outside. Rogers at the 50. A couple of Spring Hill defenders chasing him out of down. Pushed finally by Whitcraft.
Well, there's the big play. And again, you just kind of lull you to sleep a little bit. But you got to recognize on that 3rd down, they have not been able to pass the ball.
No.
That is probably a running down because I think it seemed to me as they maybe were going to take their medicine a little bit, get what you can, punt the ball away, kind of let this clock, again, shorten this game a little bit. But it just opened up. It opened up for him, and he was able to get a good run. And then everybody's so down inside the box, once you get past that second level, there's not going to be a lot of support. And that's what we saw there.
Well, Fort Scott hasn't made a progress like this. They did break off one nice run in the first half, but just a couple of yards needed as they're trying to get into the red zone for the first time. Run on 1st down is going to go as a gain of 3.
Yeah, that big play you mentioned put them down inside the red zone or close to the red zone, as close as they've been tonight. This is actually the closest they've been to the red zone and likely their best opportunity to score here. And that's when that Bronco defense got to motivate.
22.
Lennox Vance, a runner at quarterback right now for Fort Scott as they've completely ditched the conventional offense. Vance takes the snap, handoff, and driven back at the line was Garen Young. First time we've seen Young take a handoff and not the result he wanted.
Well, and it was his first time taking a handoff, and he wasn't where he was supposed to be, or the quarterback wasn't, because that mesh point, he stuck the ball out there, and that running back was another 1.5 feet beyond where he was supposed to, and they had to wait, and that little wait is that's bad.
Transfer has not been there for Fort Scott, and that drop on their first passing attempt of the game that just bounced right off the hands of Martin was kind of just a sign of things to come, unfortunately. It is 3rd and 7. Going to have 2 downs to play with here. Vance, option play out to the left side, and this is going to be a first down and maybe more for the Tigers. Jasper Allison down to the 8-yard line.
That's the first time they've been able to execute that option with a pitch at the end of it, and that means they had enough time to get it to the edge. And again, it's just the aggressiveness of the Bronco defense. It's hard for them not to be that way. Everything's kind of, again, came fairly easily, but now you've got to bear down.
Holding against the Tigers.
Oh, boy. I did not see the penalty flag. That's rough.
Yeah, the holding kills the progress made by Fort Scott. There's a 13-yard run. It's negated, and it's a 5-yard loss. So that will crush the Tigers as they thought they had 1st and goal.
Ball spot back in Spring Hill, 28. 3rd and 13.
It is 3rd and 13. Big Marquin Johnson over to the sideline as Vance talks to the huddle.
You better hustle. Play clock's at 5.
See if they get this one off. Van under center.
Nope.
And that one whistled dead. Back-to-back penalty flags now. No, they got the timeout off in time, just in time did Fort Scott. We'll take it 2 here on Spring Hill Sports Live.
What is typically a daunting, frustrating, and intimidating experience was enjoyable and exciting because of Amy. She listened to what we envisioned for our future home and was able to show us houses that reflected this. She was with us every step of the way, taking the time to answer our phone calls and texts. We ended up with our dream home, all thanks to Amy.
Feel at home while you find your next home with Amy Kelly of Reese Nichols Real Estate. Amy goes above and beyond for her clients and even makes a contribution to Ronald McDonald House with every closing. Contact Amy Kelly to buy or sell your home.
Back here on Spring Hill Sports Live, where it's been all Broncos, and a timeout saving the Tigers from their 2nd straight penalty flag. Lennox Van has been the QB since the 2nd half began, and he takes the snap handoff to the fullback, who is driven back at the line of scrimmage and may have coughed it up.
They're going to give him forward progress before that ball came out, but Noah Anderton.
Yeah, Anderton there on the play looking for another scooper. But it's going to be 4th and 12 now for Fort Scott, who, of course, are going to go for it. Marquin Johnson, big 6'5", 210-pound tight end into the game. He's a guy that we looked at early in warmups. Hasn't been much of a factor, but is lined up out wide on this far left side. Van under center on 4th down, back to pass. Lennox Van airing it out for Johnson and nearly had it picked off. But Spring Hill won't mind the result. Might have actually lost yardage had they intercepted that ball. Instead, it'll be a turnover on downs.
Miles Bell back there in covers. Very good position. He had his body on that play to be in front of the intended receiver. Bend but don't break drive by the defense. The offense can kind of put this one all the way away with a nice solid drive here.
They certainly can. 4:08 to go here in quarter number 3. And the Broncos looking to extend that lead. Beshore still out there. Handoff McKenna, who only took 1 handoff on that last series before making his way to the bench.
Tackle made number 76, Caden Connor.
And this is likely when we might see some of those substitutes enter the game. And 2nd time in a row, McKenna to the sideline after that first handoff.
And they're using the cane to pull him out of the game. He doesn't want to come out. He wants to stay in.
Anderton,
why wouldn't you?
It's like Anderton and Torres in the backfield right now with Beshore. Handoff for Anderton, who gets wrapped up after making about 3 yards of progress.
Noah Anderton.
So 3rd down and 5 coming for Spring Hill.
44, J.C. Gross.
And that opens up some options on the playbook maybe, but has certainly have been able to get 5 on the ground whenever they want.
These last couple of games, last 3 games, the Broncos have been handily taking care of business. They've been able to develop some depth throughout the team.
Handoff, Torres this time. Sheds one tackler, now cuts inside. Torres to the 50. Torres, the 40-yard line now. Had a defender on his ankles. Torres, the 20. Torres to the end zone.
Touchdown, Spring Hill Broncos.
Looks like the referees are blowing their whistles behind the play. They're going to talk this over near midfield. And this one may be coming back. So it's going to be a hold call.
That's a tough one for Jackson Torres. Man, he worked his butt off to get that one all the way down the field. He had to break a few tackles, and it was the block that kind of busted the big play that ended up setting that one up on the hold. I mean, that may have been the reason he was able to have such a big play was that penalty right there.
Right, Torres was running directly toward the sideline. A really sharp cut up the field kind of sprung him loose, and sometimes that changes your body position to in between the defender and the ball, and then suddenly you're on the other side, and now you're holding back a guy, and touchdown's coming back. 3rd and 12 now for Beshore. A trio of receivers out to the right, one left. Beshore back to pass, has a defender on him, and just throws it away. 4th and 12 coming.
Pass just thrown away, but number 15,
well, wise of Tyson not to eat that one all the way back there, but the first punt of the game. Carson Royal has had a pretty easy little run here of 3 games. He has the rough ones early in the season where they were punting quite a bit, but he hasn't had much duty here in action on Friday nights, but he'll have one here now.
6'2", 200-pound sophomore punter for Spring Hill.
Number 60, Carson Royal.
And looks like Lennox Van, the quarterback right now, not by trade, but right now for Fort Scott, will receive this punt. Good snap, booming punt, and fair catch signaled by Van. Fort Scott will take over. We'll take a quick break on Spring Hill Sports Live.
Whether you're trying to make the most of the next harvest, navigating a changing business landscape, or planning for the next chapter in your life, the professionals at Prime Accounting Solutions are here to help. With 10 locations, Prime Accounting offers convenient, friendly accounting and tax services at a fair price. Payroll, bookkeeping, business planning, personal tax filing, and more. And now Prime is the place to go for insurance. Bronco fans can find us at 408 North Webster in Spring Hill or call 913-592-2050. To find a location near you, go to primeaccounting.net.
Back here at Spring Hill, first down didn't amount to much for the Tigers.
Number 6,
it was a busted play.
And we're lucky not to lose yardage on the play.
They did.
2nd and 14. Well, there you go. Loss of 4.
2nd and 14 for the Tigers at their own 34.
And you see a couple new players down there on that defensive front. 17 coming from the outside for Spring Hill, Zach Means. Handoff up the middle, going to gain a couple more this time, maybe get back to make it 3rd and 10.
Still got Tiafal in there and Trigg Smith at that defensive line as the guy is injured.
So got the mix kind of before the 4th quarter.
Yeah, a lot of times you'll bring in the backups, but you also have some of the starters out there. This is primarily replacements, but Newton is out there now.
So with a Fort Scott player down, we'll cut to a quick break on Spring Hill Sports Live.
Hi, I'm Dr. Aaron Stowe with Payola Veterinary Clinic.
We'd like to thank you for trusting us with the care of your pets and large animals. At Paola Vet Clinic, we're proud to be your hometown vets who know and care about your family. Coming soon, a new location here in Paola in the industrial park with cattle hauling and boarding and grooming. With 24-hour emergency services and 3 other locations in Lewisburg, Drexel, and Martin City, and a team of 11 veterinarians, our commitment to this community makes Paola Vet Clinic the vets you can trust.
Hello, I'm Dr. Alyssa O'Connor, and I would like to welcome you to Sozo Chiropractic.
So many people only seek out a chiropractor when they are in pain, but ongoing wellness care helps you deal with stress and be healthier. At Sozo Chiropractic, the focus is on holistic wellness for any age. I am Webster certified for prenatal care, pediatric trained, as well as a family chiropractor. We also offer acupuncture and sauna services.
Sozo is a Greek word that means to heal, to make well, and to restore health. And that is our goal for each one of our patients who walks through the door.
Hers Incorporated in Spring Hill is your area's premier small engine repair shop. Before you replace that faulty trimmer or mower, let our experts get you back to work. And if you are in the market for a new handheld, we carry Maruyama and Red Max trimmers. Plus, Hers is still the best place for hydraulic hoses, cylinder repair, and mechanical control cables. If that's not enough, we're also a UPS drop-off location. To learn more, visit us at hersinc.net, call 913-247-3530, or just stop on by.
Oh, hi, honey.
Hi, Grandma. I'm really sorry. I won't be able to make it today. I have way too much homework, and you don't have enough internet.
Oh, honey, I gotta go. I gotta go. Oh, I need more internet in my house.
Well, you could have just called, right?
Oh.
Call Go Brawley today.
Back at Spring Hill Activity Center here in Spring Hill, a beautiful evening as we try to wrap up this injury stoppage here. Had a Fort Scott player down and is now walking off the field seemingly on his own power. So I'll go back to Tigers ball here, 39-0 in the third quarter. And if you are getting back late from halftime, the Broncos didn't waste much time. McKenna had 4 rushing touchdowns and got the 5th of the game on a kick return. Opening kickoff of the second half. 3rd and 8 now after the timeout for Fort Scott. Van takes the snap, run to the right side. Doesn't get much of anywhere. Van kept it himself and dived forward for a couple.
Drake Smith right there at the point of attack, that far side D end as well, holding that edge. And Carson Royal, the punter, getting a chance to get in there and play some D-line here in this blowout.
4th and 7.
Van takes the call, and they huddle up around him. The punts have not been there for the Tigers. Even if you're down by this much, there is no reason to punt. The ball barely goes anywhere. Van under center, Rogers behind him. On 4th down, takes the snap and nearly picked off.
James Newton was walking into the end zone. That's all he was thinking about with that ball. That thing probably looked like a pebble coming at him as his eyes were big looking for an end zone touchdown, but able to just end it again, same way as like you said before, an interception is a bad thing there.
Right.
Unless you're going to take it to the house, and James Newton might have been able to do that.
Right, a couple of chances to pick off running/quarterback Lennox Van, and not able to do it. Both of them came on a 4th, though. B. Shore back out there, leading the Broncos with 43 to play. Might see just 1, maybe 2 plays here for Spring Hill before the end of the 3rd. Anderton behind him. B. Shore takes the snap. That's not Anderton. On the play, it was Patrick Stumpf.
On the carry, number 27, Patrick Stumpf.
So Stumpf, the 4th Spring Hill player to carry the ball tonight.
Tackle made number 73, Luke Harris.
Yeah, pretty much new bodies everywhere except for, actually just in the running back. They've kept the offensive line up there as well. So keeping the starters for the most part in the ball game.
Can do a lot of interesting stuff. Maybe try to integrate guys and all those second unit guys. They have chemistry together as we might run out the third quarter of action here. They might not have the same chemistry, even though they have the same skill set with that starting unit. This fourth quarter, a chance to see a little bit of cohesion for those Spring Hill sub-package players. You're watching Broncos football on Spring Hill Sports Live.
Your locally owned hometown Allstate agent is Libby Clark, now at her new location in downtown Spring Hill. Libby and her staff are passionate about the people they serve, helping them protect what matters most. With 24-hour customer service and options for online and in-person appointments, the Libby Clark Agency is the small-town agent you've grown to love, with the experience and products you'd expect from an industry-recognized premier agency. Visit them at their new location in downtown Spring Hill, just one block off Main on Hale, or call 913-686-6205.
On the first play of the fourth quarter, we do have a sub-quarterback in the game now for Spring Hill. It's going to be number 13, Landon McVeigh. Took the snap that time, rushed to the left side of the field after a gain of about 7.
McVeigh would be the third option at quarterback likely in this offense, as the backup is actually Luke Metcalf as a wide receiver, but he's going to get some minutes here.
Handoff for Stumpf to the left side, and a little bit of second effort there, gained a couple more on the end. First down, Broncos.
On the carry, number 27.
Just telling you, that first couple of times you're playing, I don't care if it's 39 and up. I'll tell you right now, my one and only college game I got into, it was 60-0 when I played in. I remember every down of that game. You know, your first Friday Night Lights game often comes in a situation like this, where you come in and back up duty and Stumpf trying to make the most of it.
McVeigh in the gun. Handoff for Stumpf. Space to run into, breaks through the line, and a gain of about 9 for Patrick Stumpf on a roll now.
I tell you what, the play the part of that play that's going to make people excited in film study is a little 1-2 step at the line of scrimmage before he got to the line of scrimmage to find that hole. Just kind of feel your way in, and then once he saw it, he took forward and was able to get all those yards on that one play.
Second and 1. And a couple sophomore and a senior looking over for the call. Spring Hill now set with McVeigh in the gun. Another handoff for Stumpf. Room to run on the right side. Got past the first arm tackle, not the second, and then took a big hit from Jasper Allison.
Yeah, Allison's had enough. He's been out there getting plenty of Colt McKenna and Noah Anderton in his face, and Stumpf was stood up and took it out on him, but got a first down.
First and 10 Broncos.
Does move the chains, like you said, BJ, and that's what matters. McVeigh trying to punch it in now inside the red zone. Split receivers and 2 tight ends. Handoff for Stumpf. And that time behind the line, it took Stumpf a little bit to kind of secure the ball into the running position. And it was tackled after a gain of just 1.
Yeah, you were talking about chemistry going into the break, and that was a good example of that. Not able to get it. We saw in the very first play of this drive, mishandled snap, and it's just, quarterback inexperience, running back getting into that, probably some nerves going into it. And that mesh point's so important because that throws off the timing of every play. Linemen kind of know when that guy's supposed to be running by him. And if it doesn't happen right there, they're in a bad spot to hold that block that much longer.
On 2nd and 9, handoff for Stumpf through the hole and tackled after a gain of about 5.
Tackled by number 7, Jasper.
But again, these are very good minutes for all this entire unit. That Friday night, just the more snaps you can get, it means the more experience you have. And if you get thrust into that situation at Lewisburg in a close game next week, you've at least got that experience to lean on.
Right, Stumpf taking a little punishment. And
good hard
fighting
count.
4 extra yards here.
It was a good hard count there by McVeigh and got him to jump off sides.
Flag out, and the Broncos do move 5 yards closer.
Ball's placed at the 9-yard line.
It's about 3rd and just 1, almost 2 full yards to go there.
It was almost a 3rd and 6, and that is a big mistake on that D-line to jump off sides. But you got them right where you want them down here. They're thinking run all the way, so.
Stumpf will take the handoff here and stymied near the line of scrimmage after a short gain.
I think it's going to be up close to a first down.
Tackle made by 44.
It might go for it.
Checking the spot. It is 4th down and 1.
It's real close. I don't know where that sticks at on that far side, but that ball's laying on that marker.
4th and less than a yard for the
We
Broncos.
got to let Stumpf punch this one through. He's done the hard work. On
And
4th and 1, and another, wow. Putting your backup QB, the hard count is working suddenly for Spring Hill.
Flag on the play, offsides against Fort Scott.
So that first down earned entirely due to the penalty yardage
inside the 4, 1st and goal
from Fort Scott.
For the Broncos.
You'll see that on Sundays sometimes. They'll bring in a backup quarterback in that snap call.
Handoff and bottled up at the 3-yard line this time, Patrick Stumpf. They want to get Stumpf in the end zone here.
Luke Harris. Luke Harris is going to have some opportunities probably come his way. Again, just a sophomore.
You mentioned Fort Scott, a traditional power in Kansas high school football, just not their year this season. Looks like they're going to drop to 1-6. Handoff this time dragged down just shy of the touchdown was Stumpf. They are just feeding Stumpf. Typically at this point for Spring Hill in the game, you see them kind of work in that second running back, that balance attack, but they're just going to keep putting it in Stumpf's chest. Third down, just a couple yards needed for the score. Would take us above 40, though. They already instituted the running clock. McVeigh entered the contest in the 4th quarter. Now stands under center on 3rd down. Handoff for Stumpf, and he gets in.
Nice possession.
Yeah, with the aid of a couple of the Fort Scott penalty yards, Patrick Stumpf into the end zone, and that makes it 45-0.
Stumpf, 5'11", 180. He's going to be playing in that spot and fighting for it. You know, they're going to be, we talked about that balance attack. Draven Pipkin's been that guy in that kind of fullback role. Now Noah Anderton steps into that spot. Anderton, a junior, probably not what you want him to have to do is play running back and play that linebacker spot next year. So Stumpf, a little debut perhaps giving him a little something to think about in the offseason, and a nice possession.
Yeah, Jackson's extra point is good. We'll take a quick break as the Broncos lead 46-0 on Spring Hill Sports Live. The clock continues to run here at Spring Hill High School. Coming up, our post-game coverage will be brought to you by Shoemaker Collision and Paint Center. Looking forward to that, discussing how it all went down here. That first quarter blitz by the Broncos, the touchdowns by McKenna, the big kick return, and of course a look ahead to the matchup next week with Lewisburg that will be on Lewisburg Sports Live. Rogers fields the kick. He gets that one back up to the 34, and we'll see who might show up under center this time for the Fort Scott Tigers.
It'll be on Spring Hill Sports Live also.
Oh, there you go.
You know, don't you know?
Home.
I'll be there. I'll be there. I promise.
So it is going to continue to be Lennox Van for Fort Scott, the running back slash quarterback. And frankly, Fort Scott have been much more secure with the football since he took over. Haven't really seen that trickle through to in terms of yardage success. On 1st and 10, man in motion, bad snap, and we'll see who fell on that one. I think Van got it.
Nathan Heiner going to get some playing time here, the 5'10", 295-pound senior on that D-line. Also up on this D-line, getting some action in this one. Cade Myers, 6'2", 175, and a sophomore. Actually, he's in that linebacker spot. Louis Stadler's had some playing time on the O-line. He'll be on the D-line in this drive as well.
Heavy set on a 2nd down, handoff middle to Rogers, who was wrapped up before he made it back to the line, may have fallen forward. And it's going to be 3rd and 12.
That was Heiner at the point of attack on that one, along with Blaine Sommer, 6', 210, another sophomore. Sophomore class is huge, and they're huge physically. They're huge by numbers, and they've got some talent across that sophomore and junior classes. The Broncos have got things going pretty well here in this season, and the cupboard is pretty full as well.
3rd down, 10 to go. 2 wide for Lennox Van. Rogers in motion, the handoff, and that's going to be about a 3-yard gain there on 3rd down.
We've seen a few of those punch out, you know, but, I mean, by and large, it's been only a couple of runs that have gone longer than double-digit yardage, and that's hard to do as a defense because it's just hitting all the time. I mean, you eventually hit the nail enough times, it's going to go in, and that hasn't really been the case here. The Bronco D-line, and that's the starting D-line, the 2s, the 3s, they've been able to hold that pretty much the entire night.
Van gets the call. Yeah, it's really only been those 2 runs, a run of about maybe 25 and another of 35 here in the second half. Defensive sub coming in late as the Fort Scott just about got that playoff before the clock and only gained about 3-4 yards. That's not enough, and they're going to turn it over back to the Broncos with under a minute to go.
I'll have to run one more play just based on about a second difference on the play clock and game clock. And
that'll start the celebrations here for the Broncos players on the sideline. You can see them getting excited in front of that home crowd, and they know what's next. They know they will travel east to face Lewisburg, and they know that that will be the test of their season.
Football players gave a little love to the student section. You like to see that. Go victory play.
So we've got your Shoemaker Collision and Paint Center postgame show coming up next, but your final score here tonight from Spring Hill: Broncos 46 and Fort Scott Tigers 0. Postgame coming up on Spring Hill Sports Live.
A great collision on the field? Awesome. An awesome collision on the road? Not so great. If that bad play does come your way, take your car to Shoemaker Collision and Paint Center. As Kansas City's premier auto collision repair center, they work on all makes and models, even RV, marine, aviation, motorcycles, and more. Shoemaker Collision offers free estimates and loaners, plus they will work with all insurance companies. Get your ride back in the game. Learn more at shoemakercollision.com or call 913-592-0095.
Strode Orthodontics is creating beautiful, healthy smiles. Dr. Claire Strode and her staff have decades of combined experience, offering clear and metal Damon smile braces and Invisalign clear aligners for teens and adults. Dr. Strode tailors your treatment to meet your specific needs with 3 convenient locations in Olathe, Overland Park, and Spring Hill. Strode Orthodontics is ready to give you the beautiful smile you've always wanted. Call for your free no-obligation consultation, 913-491-3400, or visit Strode StrodeOrtho.com. Rain Dance Studios is the area's newest dance studio with professionally trained staff, a brand new facility, and classes for every dance and tumbling level. Rain Dance Studios is everything you never knew you needed in a dance family. With an emphasis on customer experience, exquisite dance technique, and dancer confidence, Rain is the dance studio for every aspiring dancer. Come join Spring Hill's premier dance experience and get the royal treatment. Schedule a free 2-week trial by visiting raindancestudios.com.
First Auction Bank, community banking at its best. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Elliott Group is a proud supporter of Spring Hill and USD 230. At Elliott Group, we work, live, and shop in your local communities. Serving Miami and Johnson counties for more than 45 years, Elliott Group understands your needs. As an independent insurance agency, Elliott Group works with numerous carriers to find the coverage that best fits your needs. In Spring Hill, call 913-592-5552 or visit ElliottInsuranceGroup.com.
The post-game show is brought to you by Shoemaker Collision and Paint Center, Kansas City's premier auto collision repair center. They will work with all insurance companies and can get you back on the road in no time. To learn more, visit them online at shoemakercollision.com or call 913-592-0095. Special thanks to all of you loyal Spring Hill Sports Live fans rocking with us tonight. It's been my first ever football play-by-play experience, if you couldn't tell. Alex Smith here with BJ Harris. Just going to out myself because I'm happy to be in front of the Spring Hill faithful, and they're happy. A huge win here as they look ahead, of course, to next week. The other guys in purple, Lewisburg, top the Frontier League.
Yeah, this should be a lot of fun. Again, there's some lessons you can take from this. This will be a quick film study. You'll find a few of those plays that you need to fix, or maybe you didn't execute exactly you would like to, or maybe you found some things out about your team, or maybe some of those guys, Stump coming out in a nice drive for him. He put himself in that position. Some of those other guys stepped up. And so, it is what it is in a lopsided game that pretty much felt like it was in hand from the word go. But you still got to use this momentum that they've got now, winning 3 games in a row. The Broncos look back to some of the games they had earlier in the season, and, man, they missed a couple. Tonganoxie's one you'd like to have back. That Blue Valley Southwest game is one of those games that it didn't look like it was that close on the scoreboard, but I was here. I watched that game. I know those two teams are much closer than the Broncos, and I almost promise you, and this may come true, if the Broncos end up seeing the Timberwolves again, this Bronco team will play differently. They will have a different attitude about them, and it's nice to see the maturation. And that's not all that outside the ordinary. Think of all the sophomores we've talked about,
right.
All the juniors we've talked about.
Right.
Well, those guys are older than they were in weeks 1, 2, and 3 when things weren't really working all that well. They're a little more mature, and I think the maturation of Tyson Beshore, he was not in the game in that one game against Blue Valley Southwest, just as a game manager, but also a playmaker when he needs to be. Had that one turnover, but like his effort, and then, what more can you say about Colt McCanna? Had 4 touchdowns against Ottawa. I thought, man, 4 touchdowns, that's really good. Last week, no way he'll do 4 touchdowns against Payola. No way he's going to do that again, I was right because he had 5.
And steps onto the field to begin the second half and just blaze down this right sideline for a kickoff return touchdown, maybe the pick of his bunch on the night. We'll talk about next week. We'll talk about Lewisburg. We'll talk about implications around the Frontier League. You're joining us for the postgame show presented by Shoemaker Collision and Paint Center here on Spring Hill Sports Live.
For more than 20 years, Gherkin Rental has been the place to go to get the job done in eastern Kansas and western Missouri. With a huge selection of quality equipment, from roll-offs to trailers, telehandlers to generators, power washers to popcorn makers. Experienced equipment professionals and clean, well-maintained tools to help you get the job done right the first time. Gherkin Rental. Stop by any of their 13 locations across the KC Metro or call 855-GHERKINS. That's 855-437-5367.
Hers Incorporated in Spring Hill is your area's premier small engine repair shop. Before you replace that faulty trimmer or mower, let our experts get you back to work. And if you are in the market for a new handheld, we carry Maruyama and Red Max trimmers. Plus, Hers is still the best place for hydraulic hoses, cylinder repair, and mechanical control cables. If that's not enough, we're also a UPS drop-off location. To learn more, visit us at hersinc.net, call 913-247-3530, or just stop on by.
What is typically a daunting, frustrating, and intimidating experience was enjoyable and exciting because of Amy. She listened to what we envisioned for our future home and was able to show us houses that reflected this. She was with us every step of the way, taking the time to answer our phone calls and text. We ended up with our dream home all thanks to Amy.
Feel at home while you find your next home with Amy Kelly of Reese Nichols Real Estate. Amy goes above and beyond for her clients and even makes a contribution to Ronald McDonald House with every closing. Contact Amy Kelly to buy or sell your home.
Massage is more than relaxation. Apex Massage Therapy can go beyond with targeted work for headaches and sinuses, myofascial releases, trigger point therapy, neuromuscular therapy, reflexology, cupping, and hot stones. Kylie's hands go right to the problem areas and work out all the issues. She is certified in prenatal massages, oncology, lymphatic drainage, pre- and post-surgery massages, and she can also work on minors and athletes. For openings and specials, like and follow Apex MT on Facebook.
Hello.
Welcome back to the postgame show here on Spring Hill Sports Live as we turn our attention toward next week's matchup with Lewisburg. The latest score update between Lewisburg and Ottawa, and it looks a lot similar to the way this one did. Lewisburg up 44-0 over Ottawa late in the third, according to Lewisburg Sports Zone. So Lewisburg getting the job done as they would be expected to. Spring Hill rolling here tonight against Fort Scott, who dropped to 1-6. Pretty much business as usual, pretty much what you wanted to see, especially with the McKenna kind of taking that fourth quarter totally on.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how the Broncos can approach that game next week from a mental standpoint. Obviously, you throw your X's and O's out there, you throw your players out there, and you see, but what's the approach? And the Broncos have showed a propensity at times to be aggressive. I think that will be a good point to do that. Maybe if you got a couple of things up your sleeve. I don't know. I think Lewisburg's pretty good. If you can go in there and beat Eudora, you look at common opponents. They beat Eudora at Eudora. Eudora came in here early in the season and walked right through the Broncos. Mm-hmm. But like I said earlier, you can't really take them out. I think this is a different team. I think this is a team with a little bit more identity. They kind of know who they are, and they've got a red-hot player in Colton McKenna. And so I'm excited to see them go in there almost playing with a little bit of house money. You know, they're in a different classification of 5A. Right. 5A is going to be pretty well set for the most part, although a win would certainly maybe put them in a different place. We'll spend this week kind of figuring out where Spring Hill falls into the playoffs. I think whenever we walk away from that game next week, we'll certainly have a better idea of it. But if you're Spring Hill, you can kind of go in there and play loose. Lewisburg, on the side of things, probably would have thought they could play loose, but now they've got some expectations that they probably didn't have coming into the season. And they've got a first-year head coach and a team that then beats that Eudora team, and everybody's like, oh, who's Lewisburg? And they've kind of kept it going. And I think they're figuring out exactly who they are, and I think they found out they're pretty good. So, likewise, if you're Lewisburg, you start to get a little bit tight, those expectations get too much for you, well, then you're right for an upset. I think that's what it would be if the Broncos are able to go over to Lewisburg and get an upset or get a win would be an upset, but it's not that big of one. And I think it's one the Broncos can kind of put together a game plan that will give them a chance to be competitive with Lewisburg and go in there and steal one, and that's what we'll be looking for when we get over there next week. Yeah, I'm with you on that, BJ. Despite what we might have thought at the beginning of the season with that being a Lewisburg home game, certainly looking for Spring Hill to go and grab a big scalp. Right now, 4-3, as the Spring Hill Broncos will conclude the regular season next week away at Lewisburg.
For the head honcho and my colleague BJ Harris, I've been Alex Smith saying so long. A big win here for the Broncos on Spring Hill Sports Live.
You've been watching Spring Hill High School Sports on your home for the Broncos, Spring Hill Sports Live. Spring Hill Sports Live is presented by Strode Orthodontics, creating beautiful, healthy smiles. Learn more at StrodeOrtho.com. Also by and be sure to catch every second of the action right here on your home for the Broncos, Spring Hill Sports Live.